all may be seated. I want to thank you all for coming. We'll get right into what I have on my mind. We have some I see we got some visitors today. That's very good. Some of the brothers that was here yesterday, you all get the tapes? Make sure you listen to them. I have a message for those, the ones that are with us. I want to share that with you, and then afterwards we're going to open up the floor for questions. I want to make sure that I give an ample amount of time for those that may have questions about such a serious matter. I may look like I'm looking for words. I'm so happy. I got to have some place to express it, or people to express it with. I hope most of the ones that came with us, are they here yet?
Yes, sir, Father.
Are they in the meeting?
Some of them, Father.
Just some. I'll wait until they come down and let me know everybody's in, because I want everybody to hear this. All right, up until now, we've been working very diligently. I see we have look like a diverse thinking pattern in the audience. To put it bluntly, all that we've been looking for as a man and a woman in this world, I'm the answer to that. And as far as it taking and say, well, if I'm Allah or you want to see it that way, that's fine. If you don't want to see it, me as being Allah, that's not necessary. You know, what is necessary is that you see how to think and then make your thinking real. If you see that, then you got it made. You don't need nothing else. It's much like when the Master Prophet Muhammad was teaching the messenger, and after he had taught him, and he knew that he had enough of what he had to do, he said, well, Elijah, I got to go now. Well, you know, once you start getting this type of knowledge, first thing comes up is respect, and then love. And especially if you can direct it at a particular person, then you associate that person with what you're receiving. So when he says, well, I got to go, naturally he didn't want him to leave. However, he was such a wonderful student, the teacher didn't really want to go either. However, time and destiny says you got to go. If you don't go, the child is not going to grow up to be responsible. Just because I know and I have told you or taught you doesn't mean that you know. Because the best teacher is experience. After you're taught or told, then you must be given time and a place and protection and foresight and allow you to do what you see. And if the teacher is a real teacher, he'll make sure that you're not damaged in your attempt to try out what you've learned. So in your doing that, you experience it, and then you have really learned. You can apply the math to the actual action or whatever you're involved in or whatever you want to change. This way you won't be defeated. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So all of those that, I don't know what it read on the flyers or how I was presented. I know oft-times this is, well, Allah will be speaking. That's very true. I am that. However, that's not what you need to know. What it does indicate is that if I truly am, then I have a responsibility to you. I got to make it where you can be free. You know, not make you worship me, not bend down, don't do any of that. That's unnecessary. If I want somebody to bend down or worship, I take the buzzard. He does it today. When he eats and everything, he gives me thanks. He bows. That's what the buzzard does. The carnivores. So, you know, if you ever see the wild discovery, you watch it, you watch it. So, but people, you know, you got your most intelligent part of your body on top of your head, on top of your body. That's your head. So it's not to be bowed down. It is to be upright. And we made a burden of beast, or a beast of burden, that represents us here in North America. And what I'm saying, I hope you all follow this up. Weigh it in your mind as I'm speaking. There is no animal that stands erect or more proudly than a camel. We made just the opposite of the camel, or the idea of the camel. The hog, he can't raise his head up. Keeps it down. But the camel is the friend of the wise man. We made him to last in the desert as long as he'd be of service to us without being in a discomfort to him. And if we can't find water, he'll lead you to it. However, his posture is an upright animal. He holds his head up so high it leans it back. And we made him ugly to represent us here in North America. And they say that you've heard the term, the straw that broke the camel's back. Everybody in the world has been trying to break our back. But they say the straw that broke the camel's back because the camel is not designed to carry no heavy load. But he has so much will to please his master, he does it anyhow, against his design. So they say, and they let you know that the people that he's serving oftentimes mistreats them. They always overload them, trying to get more on. So much so that he carries it up to the point where you just lay a straw on it, look like it breaks his back. But the straw didn't break it. It's all that they had on before they put the straw on. So that represents you, black man, here in North America. Nobody's killed us yet, physically. If they did, it wouldn't be no need for me to appear. I wouldn't have nothing to come after. Believe me, there's nothing in this world or of this world worthy of any wise man's attention, let alone Allah. So the only thing that would be worthy of my attention would be one of you all, or you all as one. Other than that, I do like George Burns did, play old God, going off with the animals. They ain't disobeyed me. However, the man that put you in a spot where you are, his very existence is disobedience to Allah. So he has made you just like him. However, you're much more powerful than he is. You're doing it ignorantly. He's doing it from nature. So I'm more powerful than him, so I should be able to turn you around. And when that happens, the earth can rejoice. As is written about in Daniel. The earth sang again and rang again. Because the black man is woke. Where we can take our rightful places being God, being that. Not talking about it, but actually being that. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
How was yours ride? Was it all right?
Yes, sir.
You had to sit upright? That's for you all to come down and then go right back, that's pretty admirable. I certainly appreciate that. I don't know, I won't say I don't know. I have to do things according to your understanding to make sure that everything I do is meaningful. There are many things that can be done. If it's over your comprehension, it may as well not be done. Not at least to you, because you wouldn't understand it. So we're bringing this to a point where all things can be understood, especially from the classes. And we have some teachers coming out. I spoke with a brother last week. I said, well, it's going to take about maybe 5 or 10 minutes. I'll speak with him. I just talked to him in my car, and I got to go. And we must have about an hour and a half meeting. And the youth, we haven't been neglecting you. However, the parents have to get a footing so that they can understand what the youth is to do. So now, since the parents has pretty well got a pretty well good understanding and a foundation, now we're going to start to deal with the young minds, not about that I'm Allah, or that the sun rises in the east. Forget that, or by praying. They got to learn how to clean this water up. They got to learn how to clean this air up. They can learn all these things. So, as long as they're doing it for the right reason, Allah automatically comes in. Because the reason is right. So if it's right, Allah's already there. So the parents, what we're going through now, by me being Allah, they being God, and they have something to do, this is just to get the footy. After a while, everybody gonna sit up by God. You know, it's like the message saying, when black man looking at black man looking at God. So why we gotta say that? When we see each other, we don't say, well, you black, I'm black too. You don't do that. So this is what we're working towards. I hope most of you all are here. And for those of you that I'm not really directing it to, however, it's food for thought. Everyone that has accepted the duty of getting themselves correct, that are with me, and if you're beginning to find it somewhat an arduous task, something that is beginning to come to a point where, you know, you use a knife so much the knife starts to lose its edge. You know, you still use it because the handle fits good and everything, but the edge is going off. It's got to be resharpened so the love will come back for the use of it. That's the same way it is with you all. You know, those of you that are working day and night, day and night, day and night, over and over and over in the same place. Not maybe the same business, but the same place. So even if it's a different business that you're going to, performing your duty every day while we're developing this heaven, you still see the same thing. You still see the same people. So to keep from losing the edge, we always have to think back to the plan and how things actually happen. If you lose that, then you can't get your edge back. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes,
and this is something that must be done. Now, you know, after looking over and studying things, there has never been anything in creation or nature that has presented itself in such a way where you can see it, or it's made an impression that didn't go through something of hardships or trials. Nothing. If it's here, you can see it. Just like we're in this room, you can see it. Somebody called hell putting this up. It might have lost a life. However, the end result is here. And the same thing is when a baby is born. You know, the baby comes out of the mother's womb, a little small room, makes its way in through daylight. The only thing that it is concerned with, it ain't concerned about your love, none of that. It's concerned about eating and sleeping. Sleeping and eating. Eating and sleeping. It does that consistently. Every 3 hours when it first comes, it's got to feed. You know, it starts after that associating the mother of feed. But the love is back. They're going through this process. Anything is dedicated to making this body where it can respond to the entity that's in it.
yes.
So it don't care from high water to what. It cries when it's time to eat. And if you don't show up, it lets the world know, where is the foe? If you can rock it and shake it and can't go to sleep and got gas and the baby's uncomfortable and can't go to sleep, it lets you know something is wrong. And it does it in no uncompromising terms. You don't say, well, I'll cry but not loud because I'll disturb my parents. Oh, no. No, they get it done. Somebody going to do something. So this is the same thing with us. To build a righteous nation. Not a country, not a righteous organization. However, a nation, and not a nation geographically. A nation of Islam. That means a nation right. Now, if you're going to build it, and you have God himself instructing and guiding you, then in order for you to be successful, you have to have that same dedication that nature and every other life that comes. Understand?
Yes.
So when that takes place, now I hope you listen carefully. After the persistence starts to pay off, you start to become more comfortable and more seasoned in what you're doing. that's when it appears as though the dullness come in. Like the baby don't cry so much no more. Because it's satisfied in what it's looking at and what it's doing. However, if you look at them, they're not crying, but they're looking around, taking away from yourself. So this is the same thing with you all. Our babysitters are the ones that are in the sky, the unseen. You don't see them. It's not necessary for you to see them. However, it is necessary for you to be safe. So that which would bring you harm, they stop it before you ever knew it existed. That's why most of them run around, talk all brave and everything. You don't know what's been happening. Because you've been being taken care of. Now, as you grow and develop and you start to be able to see, then you say, oh, now I see how this works. Then they start showing up, bringing presents to you. Because they already know who you are. Just like Master Prophet Muhammad came, and he came at a time when they was lynching black people, just outright lynching you. He went back and told the other scientists, I found them. The 13th tribe was lost. He went and said, I found them. They said, where were they? He said, they were down in the hills of North America. In the hills of North America. So they already knew this was hell. They over there in the hills of North America. So the scientists looked at him and said, what? Them? Oh, no. He said, yes. He said, well, look, kill all of them. Fry said, no. That's the tribe. They said, well, you're going to have to go get them. And they're not going to come back amongst us until they have a thorough knowledge of them, the devil, and everything else. They're not coming back just out. He said, don't worry about it, I got it. If he didn't see God in you, he would say, kill him too. Matter of fact, he would have never found you. There were black people other places other than just in America. They're all over the world. But when he went back, he said, I found it. He said, where they at? He didn't say England. He didn't say Africa. Africa filled up with black people. He said, he didn't say North America. He said, in the hells of North America. Get that? I'm talking to the maestros over there. You got it?
One more time, if you will.
Yes, sir. Well, see if I can remember that. He said that he came over and found us in the hills of North America. And by him being able to see through the mud that you've been covered up with, he knew that's the people. Regardless of whether anybody else saw it or recognized it or not, he knew it. And then he said, well, yes, I'll go. And he came over. He said, well, I'm not going to deal with all of them. I'm going to deal with one man. I'm going to raise him up and allow him to get as many of the rest that he possibly can get that will come. So in doing this, they will know that the man that did show up had to be God. So that everybody else in the world will know that the man that did show up had to be God. It's written that God would come, spend 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of hell. In the heart of hell. Detroit at that time was the heart of this country. That's where all the money was being generated from, the automobile. And the automobile entails quite a bit of everything that the Caucasian makes. From plastic, rubber, metal, you think of it, is in the automobile. So that was the heartbeat. He came 3 years and 3 nights and 3 days, which is 3 years. Taught this one little man, and this one man stood up and made an impression in life that nobody has done by being black, and he didn't come from no place else. He came out of Sandersville, Georgia, where they really lynch you. You know, little teeny town. If they lynch you, they didn't miss you. Town was hardly on the map. You getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So, with all of that done up until now, you got to be the people. And then the messenger said, after me comes God himself. Not spirit self. After me comes God himself. Now, if Master Muhammad was truly the God or Allah, that statement would be incorrect. And the book reads that, Elijah must first come, before the God, to make a way for God. So after him comes God. So, Elijah got you ready as far as letting you know what's taking place. Now, to make you free and to cause you to understand how nature works, my duty. And since nature is already working, I can't lose. I just keep instructing you to be in tune with it, and then you won't lose. It's not a thing about a big I, a little you, and we were taught that, which that is true. In Islam, there's no big I and little U's. They practice it in the other Islamic faith on Fridays. This should be practiced every day in everything you do. So when you speak to a person, you speak it mathematically. Now, if their math don't equate with yours, then you have a duty to share with them if you have the time, if they have the time. If it equates, then you got to know that the piece is not broken. It's not necessary for, inshallah. That is Allah's will. Peace at all times. So if you learn how to use the math, you never have to say that. You got it? Well, I won't keep going on. In other words, all of you all that are working consistently in the duties in heaven, you will actually really, really, really produce in heaven in the physical way. Because there is no way in this country that anybody could do that if they were not God himself. And I'm telling you what I know. And I know how much I'm doing to protect you. I know what the scientists have done. I know these things. And before I got started, before I actually knew, they were telling me, you were successful before you even get started. And it don't make no difference where you go. They're talking to me personally. Say, it don't make no difference where you go, you'll be successful. So, I found that it's not a point of where I go, personally, because I'm everywhere. Not at once, though. Although I do a lot of traveling around. However, the expression of the way I think, I have it focused on one point. To make sure the world sees that this can and must be done. And you're doing it. Now I'm concerned about protecting your thinking so that your life don't get dull. And then all of the ones that have been waiting for this to take place, because it reads in the Quran, the angels are talking to each other. Wait, are we waiting too? Well, what you waiting on, angels and God? We waiting for Solomon to get the people going. And why are you doing that? Well, much like a child, we grown people, we deal in high knowledge. We can't do nothing with them while they crawling around. We gotta wait. They starting from zero, absolute zero. So they got to be at it for a while. And when they start to master it, then we can come on in. Our wait is over. And when that is over, can you imagine what they have in store for you? They go any place in the universe at will. What do you think? And they know you want to go. Just for being inquisitive. So one day you might come to work and say, well, went to Pueblo last night. They do it when you don't miss no work. But other people will be coming. Because the only thing that's stopping people now is they're skeptical. What has happened before we actually were making our sight or our showing, the people before us, has made a mockery of this because of the way they think. It's no different than the Christians. They act as though if you really put a real strong will, like you're going to make this right and you don't know how it's going to be right, then people accept, well, they're really genuine. Well, you can be genuine, but that don't mean you're right. So that's what has been happening. As far as a nation of Islam, that hasn't happened. The messenger got one started. But yeah, if you can run a race and you start, and that's it, you just start and that's it, you didn't win. A turtle walked to it. If you make it to the end, he beat you. If he didn't do it to the end. So you got it? So make sure, when these things start to seem like, well, I'm doing this over and over and over, and what will let you know whether you are ready to receive what I have for you and the gifts that's in the unseen that's for you, what will let you know when you're performing your duty and nobody's telling you. If a change has got to be done in what you're doing, and the map comes up so clear, he says, hey, this got to be changed. We got to do so and so and so and so. And the spirit in which you say it and the person that you telling, they'll say, yeah, he got it. Yeah, well, let's change it. When you get it like that, you're ready. As long as somebody got to tell you, you got to come back and check and see if you did it, you ain't ready. So y'all got it? Well, I just want to, I'm being successful, and I would like for everybody that's with me to receive or witness the same thing that I received. I'm very, very happy because some things are happening, just before I left home, where I live at. And every time I get a call, it's becoming to be more positive than negative. In other words, it used to be every time I got a call, it was a problem. I always got to solve a problem. Unless my wife called me and whatnot, and she called me and said, I think I love you, baby. I said, you think? That might be a problem too. So that is getting to be, well, fathers. But guess what happened? So and so and so and so happened. It did? Yes, sir. Hey, now I know things is growing. So I'm a little bit more than half now. It used to be, the positive calls is very few. Now the positive is starting to outweigh the ones that's negative. You see, I got some things in store for you. Well, who got questions for me? Yes, sir. We got, for the sisters, we got a mic on the side over here. For the brothers, we got a mic over there. And if you have any questions about what I just spoke about, we got to get more homes. We got to get ready for the real people. The real people is our children. Because these are minds that hasn't been really polluted. And so those of us that really have certain type of knowledge and whatnot, when they start teaching to our children that their thing has been polluted, they're going to take what they got within a few days. And they're going to start coming out with things. And the scientists people talk with them too. They'll come out with things, you say, oh man, I'm so glad I had some children. Those of you that say, well, I didn't want this child, we got caught. In 2 days you say, man, I'm sure I got caught. But you'll be surprised. You're going to be surprised. Mark my word. If you all have questions, I think we got a couple of empty seats on the side over there. You can go sit in the seat so this way you go to the mic. Your mother? Yes?
Yes, sir, Father. Mic check.
Is it the same way it was yesterday?
No, sir, Father. You should be able to.
Is it on?
Yes, sir, it's on. However, all right. I don't. If this is all right with you, Father, no dreams, no tribes, no names.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's ask questions that will benefit us in a non-personal way. You all understand? No asking Allah, what does this dream mean? What does your name mean? Or what tribe you're from? Will you all yield to that? Yes, wonderful. All right, God.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. I've been hearing a lot of talk about the planets lining up. I think it's May the 5th in the morning. And when I first heard this, I heard St. Louis would somewhat be destroyed, and then I heard that St. Louis would be spared. And I was just wanting to hear what the story is and what is causing this and what we could do in St. Louis.
Well, yes, sir. It's like a driving automobile that's a standard shift or even automatic. Each gear gives you or ensures you a certain speed with power. As we develop and grow, there are certain things that we need to make sure that the growth is confirmed. So the planets and everything line up to make sure you receive that type of power. All of the celestial bodies that is related, their relationship to each other is a transfer of power. It helps to keep all the other planets balanced. And the life form that's in it, or at this particular planet on it, the power that we receive from the moon and other planets, and when they come together, whatnot, it's got to be a people that can benefit from that type of power that's being transferred or that's being developed. It is us. Before, and another thing too, the planets are actually rearranging themselves to be in accord with us consistently. And, if those of you that do drive, if you have a standing shift and you take off in first gear, that's only to get you started. That's why it's called first. It don't stay there. If you want any speed, you change it. And if you don't want speed and you just want to creep around, you just let it stay there. So no need for the planets to line up, because you were doing that without them being lined up. However, to make sure that we are successful against the power that is sworn, to make sure that we don't be successful, and it's not white folks. White folks don't want us to be successful, but however, they have no power to stop us. There is a force that is sworn to stop us, and it's called Satan. And he's in each and every one of you all except me. So regardless of what you're doing, if he can cause you to use your power against right, then that ensures his existence, since I'm here to make sure that's the end of him. So the planets line up to make sure when we're stepping into another realm or phase of our activity that must be done, certain things in the heaven lines up to make sure that they okay and put a period to it. Bam, you got it. So that's what happens. Everything bear witness to this, everything. Even white folks. They bear witness to this. Satan knows it. If we didn't make a motion, you think about this, until we created ourselves or came into being and expressed intelligence, there was no proof or form of intelligence, although Satan existed. He couldn't prove it. So regardless of what he does, it's always got to be something after us. If we don't make the motion, he can't make a reaction. And if we just went back to nothing and did nothing, he couldn't prove that he exists. So he's to make sure, since he's always existed, not in the form of he, but that type of power or negative or nothingness always existed. He's very comfortable with nothing. Here you come in and disturb his nothing, so he wants to make sure he bring you back so he be comfortable to nothing. So that's the force that is dedicated to make sure that we don't make it. And the power that he uses is what you give him. We have meetings and brothers come into the meeting, and because they stay 2 or 3 minutes, they don't like the way I look, they don't like what I'm saying, and they haven't really stayed to really find out what's really being said. They stay for a little while and they get up and leave. They're like, oh, that ain't nothing. So if I had negative in me, I would take it, well, man, I must be doing something wrong. Man, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. But I don't have it. So he can't make me think that I'm doing something wrong. The ones that left is wrong. You see, I put it in its proper place. So if they leave and never come back, they lost. So they remain nothing. And why get upset about nothing? So that's what's taking place as far. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised the attention, even if you're not with me, that the world is putting on you, that you're attracting. You'd be surprised. They first thought, well, Mr. Farrakhan, he gonna get it done. Even white folks said, man, we gotta start watching him. He's getting the army up. That type of activity they can relate to. They can stop that. Because if you say, well, I don't want to go to white folks to get no guns, we're going to make our own. As soon as you start getting the metal and the things that you need and smoking, the furnaces and whatnot, they go, what are you getting this for? And you can see it when the other countries, they say, well, these are countries now. I think we're going to make the nuclear bomb. What? Oh, no. We're going to sanction you if you make it. So how you going to make it? How you going to use what he uses and you're going to come against him? And he's done develop it. Oh, this is something else, too, I wanted to explain to you all about working all the time. We're at a time, you know, when you go to work and you finish your work, and they have it, you know, you see it on TV, the president's idea of this, you know, like this bud's for you. You worked all day, and, you know, you're tired, you don't want to go home just yet, you know. Or even if you go home, go and kick your foot up, you know, tell your wife, bring the bud, you know. Like you relaxing now you're ready, you can play a little. You know, you can do something foolish if you want to. Well, you know, and another saying is, you know, like all work and no play makes Johnny a dull boy or something of that nature. Think of it this way. First place, most things we think of as working is from 8 to 9, or from 8 to 5, or 9 to 4, something like that, in a course of hours during the day. However, since you were with Allah himself, or in the practice of being what Allah is and doing what he does, time is irrelevant when it comes to that. That's why when he told the devil, well, I'll give you 6 days. 6,000 years. He said 6 days. So in the building of this righteous kingdom, it isn't going to work day by day and figure, well, because you got a break from work, well, you work that day and you finish the work. No. The work isn't finished until that level of it is completed, period. If it takes 10 years, that's when it's finished. Now, we gave the devil, said, look, man, you know, we gave you 6 days, 6,000 years. You done wasted 5,800 years. You done just wasted it. You ain't did nothing. You ain't did no more than what the Indian did. And you better hurry up, because the next one will come and catch you. So he started, he said, man, I better get busy. So within the last 200 years, he got busy. What he got busy doing was using the knowledge that he picked up. He carried it to his zenith as far as what he can think. So now, since it's to his zenith, he's capped off. He can't go no higher. That means his job is done. So since now his job is done, he's over, now he can go have his bud. Meaning that everything he does is sport and play. Real gods don't play. And when he was being a real god, he didn't play. You look at these Western movies and whatnot, you see people out there working all day, all night. They never went to town maybe once a month, and they, you know, carried $2 and got a slab or whatever. They grew everything, they just worked. Now they reached the end of that work. Now they play tennis, they play golf, you know, they just play. And they got you doing the same thing. You think you finished too. Well, you are just starting. You understand what I'm saying? This man is finished. He's finished. His time is up. He's out in space. We told him, you know, before we take you out, we're going to let you go out and take a look at what's out there. And we gave him enough so he can go out there, so his time is up. Now, after we let you go out there and peek and see everything, we're going to bring you back, and that's the end of you. So that means his job is over. And after his job is finished, now you can go play. So he set up a whole industry of play. And got you, well, you know, talking about the bullets, the bulls. You know, they sit in front of the TV, get all excited and everything, you know, playing the basketball, playing the football, playing, because his work is finished. He done killed you mentally. He done took the God away from you. He didn't give it back. The only person who brought any God back to you with any type of balance to it was Elijah. So his job is over. So if he can keep you playing with him, you go to hell with him. You see? However, when your job is finished or your duty is finished on this level, it becomes very, very easy for you. You'll be able to think happy, produce happy, be happy. You know, my daughter and I went out this morning, we were speaking, and, you know, a lot of times the brothers, we don't be around a lot of people a lot. So they would like to have hands on and like to do something with us or for us. If it's just nothing but just open the door. And a lot of times the brothers see we get ready to go to the door, whatnot, they speed up to get to the door before we get there so they can open it. You know, at least they've done something for the royal family, you know. And I can understand that. So she was saying, well, like a lot of times I could open the door myself and they'd run and get it. But Father, to me, it's nothing. I mean, I don't think less of them. I just do it. I said, well, when they get to a point, are you listening?
Yes, sir.
When they get to a point where they can read our minds without us saying anything, that'll never be an issue. They never have to speed up to do it. It already be there. They already be there. In this way, it never becomes an issue. It will be one to you, it won't be one to them. However, while they're growing, big thing, you open up the door. You're thinking less of them. However, if they want to make sure that they receive some type of self-gratification by associating themselves with us like that, they will know what we're going to do before we do it and be that way. And it won't be nothing to be said. Did y'all get that?
Yes, sir.
So now you're going to try to read my mind. In other words, this happens that's on that level. And that's how you grow. When you can do that, then you're going to go to another level. And it allows us to go to another level because these things are being done. Not that we can't do it, but it's being done. So when those ones that are around us, whatnot, they know we're going to do something, whatnot, and they want to do something, they're there. We're not going to stop them. But we got to ask them, or they got to run and do it. And we got to tell you, it's an issue. It's one that it's not something that's distasteful. It's just knowing that we know you're growing. Like the scientists know we are growing. Y'all got that?
Yes, sir.
And it won't be long. Things of that matter, that level of activity, you ought to be doing that real soon, since I said something about it. Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, Father.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, sir. I was speaking, or some brothers and myself were speaking, and it was sharing myself that there would be three or a couple people that would sit in the seat of power at the palace, and one person that was mentioned was Silas. I was wondering, why would he have opportunity to sit in that seat, and would he be the last to sit in that seat?
And he'd be the last one to sit in the seat of those that the seat don't belong to. And you want to know why?
Yes, sir.
Like I said before, Satan has no power to do anything. And in order for us to purge this planet or purge the ones that's amongst us, it's much like a boil on the body. All of that is poison to the body has a mechanism to draw it all into one spot. And then you get rid of it from there. Well, in order for that to take place, we have to give him a feeling of his godhood. We gave him you. We gave him the run of the world. That's why he could tempt Jesus. He said, if you come with me, I'll give you all this. I mean, how did he get it in the first place? We gave it to him, and Jesus, he was pretty smart. You can't give me what I already got. You know what I'm saying? So in order for him to get the worst of the worst, that is really him, we allow him to sit in the seat as though he is the Lord. And all will come to him that is with him. And then that's where I come and say, hi, Mr. Satan. Remember me? No, I don't remember you. I remember you. And when we leave, there will be one leaving. So that's what's going to happen. In other words, it's like a master chess player or an artist on a battlefield. I bring my opponent into my ground. When? I bring him into my house, which the house can't stand him, but it obeys me. Like the earth can't stand the devil, but it obeys me. So if I tell the house, choke him, he's a choked man. You see? And I put him right next to his resting spot, the lake. So we got our reasons. It's not like he's going to take it. When he actually goes there, we're going to suggest this to him through, mental telepathy, Man, go to Chicago and get the palace, because I won't be there. We're going to purposely vacate it so he can go. And when he goes, like I said, his purpose is to get all of the evil into one spot. And then when I cast it all away, that's the end of negative, period. You'll be negative free forever.
Yes, sir.
You see, and for those of you all that hear this tape, and even the ones that are here, you say, that man can't be Allah. Well, if I'm not Allah, and you're unable to equate what I'm speaking, what makes you think you would understand Allah then? This is being made very, very plain. And why would I be thinking in these terms of destroying something and already know where it's going to be, how it's going to be, and what's in our favor and what's against him? Already know and telling you. Anyone that's not concerned with that, even if you're concerned, you can't think of no punishment for Satan. First thing you do is get mad because he the one that's going to punish me. Because he inside you talking. Why do he punish me? You and I are friends. You remember when your wife ran away? I told you where she was at. But he didn't tell you. He told her to run. You see what I'm saying? So you don't find no person explaining to you what really is other than me. And I speak about Silas. I speak about anybody I please. Minister Farrakhan, Warwick, Dean, Ballhead Khalid. Anybody I please. They can't do nothing about it. Because what I'm speaking is true. True. And in truth, and I'm in time. So it would be a mistake on their part if they could try to come and put the sun out. Impossible. Impossible. So, and I don't speak about them in a bad way. I just tell the truth. Silas is going to be using a certain part of the land here, producing the food. He's going to be feeding it to his people. And it'd be worse than any narcotic that you could ever dream of. And every time one of you all think you're going to help change, like the black man running to the white man, think the white man going to change. He going to be good to us. He just don't know he's doing us bad. As soon as I tell him, and the way I'm going to tell him, he'll say, oh, yeah, we are doing that. I'll change. That don't happen. He killed Jesus. What makes you think you're going to tell him something Jesus didn't say? You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So here's a man talking about he's taking out the very essence of why that happens. So who can do that? If it's not a law, well, yes, I would be crazy. Well, I got to be an extremely intelligent man to take on something unseen. To make sure it's destroyed, not killed, destroyed.
Yes, sir.
So everybody that's listening and think, well, Allah's not a man. To you, maybe he ain't. The reality of it is he's shown up the man, not just a man. He's the man. So you got it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else?
Yes, sir. There was a scenario that took place where a lady at my job had asked myself to pray for her family. And I was wondering, at the black men's advancement at this time, I looked at the woman like she's crazy, to ask me that question. I was thinking I didn't know, I couldn't do it, but I know who could. So I was thinking, for her to ask me that, why would she ask me that? And then in our development at this time, could we do that by using a thought?
Well, in the first place, this is what you do. Anytime, if it's a person that's with us, they wouldn't ask you to pray if they're with us. They would ask, well, could you get word to Father? Those that are not with us, what you do when you're asked to do something that way, if you have time to speak with her, like you say on the job, you start asking her questions. Why would you want me to pray for her? She said, well, she's sick and so forth, and she needs prayer and whatnot. And you say, well, you want this done out of love for her, right? And more likely they're going to say yes. She said, well, and you start asking, what made her sick? What brought about the need for prayer? They say, well, she was driving home from work and got out the car and somebody struck her. Had an accident. So it ain't what she did. She just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, with the righteous, ain't no such coincidence. Ain't no such thing. Why did she get hit? What did she do? I mean, is she married? Yeah. Did she leave her husband? Yeah. Did she have children? Yes. Is she treating children right? No. Why you want me to pray? God might be doing something. You got to ask them questions. Then if it gets to the point where you see, well, yeah, they do need help, then you say, well, I'm going to pray for you because I know God. I will put the problem to God. And if he says he'll do something about it, I'll let you know. Then they say, well, you were crazy. Well, I say, hey, I'm just telling you the truth. Now, if you want me to do it, I do it. If you don't want me to do it, hey, ask somebody else to pray. As a matter of fact, how come he ain't listen to your prayers? You see what I'm saying? There got to be a whole bunch of people praying. Not really. If it's real, only the person that needs to pray. As a matter of fact, the person got to hit you to pray. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Father, at our development, are we able to do that at this time? Not necessarily put into that scenario, but just in that idea?
Well, we're the actual saviors of our people. And this is why we have mathematical thinking. If it can be justified, you can do it. If you are unable to justify it, leave it alone. If you feel like, well, I'm unable to do it, however, I still feel something should be done, go to someone that you know that is a better mathematician in their thinking than you, and let them know what's happening, and then they will aid you. And if it still bothers you, then call the house. Somebody there will tell you something.
Thanks, Father.
Yes, sir. You're welcome. Walaikum salam. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir, Father. We've had a situation in our MGT house in which it was shared that you, as well as Mother, shared that we had a guardian angel. However, there's been instances where, several instances actually, where I have had the sensation of like someone touching in my hair. And so much so that it took place when we were in Wichita, when you were speaking in Wichita. And I would like to receive clarity on that, as well as it was shared that next time we see it, to attempt to communicate with it.
Yes, ma'am.
And I would like if you would share clarity on that, as well as far as how that takes place.
Well, the first thing, next time you see it or you feel its presence, give the greetings. That's the first thing you do, give the greetings. And if it's not to make itself known, and a lot of times they don't make themselves known outright where you can truly identify what it is, because it brings about some type of confusion between if a person can actually do this and you can't, and you ain't seen me do it, you ain't seen Mother do it, then it starts saying, well, no. How come they can do it? I ain't seen Father do that. It starts bringing up questions. In other words, that practice of that activity is a wide open field for Satan to make you come up with a whole lot of questions. What you're asking now, you're doing it right. Sisters, when things get to be the way it should be, brothers, there will be no such thing as an MGT house. It's an MGT house now because they can't all come to my house. If you had your manhood in check, it wouldn't be no MGT house. And since you're not allowed to go there, because you wouldn't be going for the right reason, we send certain powers or certain entities there to make sure that the peace is maintained and the safety is there. They put a shield around the home. And sisters are always finding something. You're like water. The tide go in and come back out. Go in and come back out. They're nice and happy, and you get 4 or 5 sisters in the same house. If we're not there, the water is going to wash away the walls. So we put something in motion to make sure that it is secure. So it is for your and my benefit. It helps. It don't keep the peace all the time. It helps to keep the peace. It allows you to have just enough disturbance where you can learn. Because it's not where those are the ones that actually converse with me. You don't have to learn how to cook. The brothers don't have to learn how to drive. You can go right white folks, they'll teach you that. What you have to learn how to do is how to get along with your own nature. That's what you got to learn. So when it's 3 or 4 you are together, whatnot, that's a trial, because there's always some friction. Just the person walk by and a little breeze come by. Why you got to walk like that? I mean, you just disturbed me. I was writing, man. And now you got to come up now how to deal with that. If you don't, you're in trouble. So the entity be there to make sure it don't get out of hand. You see? So that's why I say, if it makes it a present, when you say it, just say Assalamu alaikum. In this way, it'll know that you know that they're there. Okay?
Yes, sir.
There's something else I didn't answer on that?
Yes, sir. With me having the sensation, touching my hair.
Oh, well, it must have some type of attraction to you. Not in no way that we think attraction. You know, I don't know if you all remember the time I was telling you about the scientist that I met in the truck stop. And this was an ugly waitress. And he was, what is he looking at? He looked like he's seen gold. Most beautiful woman in the world. And I'm looking at him, I just kept looking, what is he looking at? But then after he started explaining, because I never asked him but I didn't have to because he knew what I was thinking. Then he started explaining to me about the nature of just the mechanism that the God developed you to bring such a creature about. He was like basking in that, man. You know, like you're going to some tropical island and everything went right. Now you back and it's raining and snowing, streets all icy. So you sit in your chair and you start thinking, man, I had a wonderful time. Somebody walk in, you know, they just come in, feet wet, fingers cold, and they're looking at you. You sit back smiling. Man, it's bad outside. What? That's what he was looking. So the same thing with the entity. It may be something that you are going to do. They already know what you're going to do. And they're so excited that, you know, they just like if I can just touch them. It's nothing that's wrong. Otherwise, it ain't something that they mean to cause any fight or hurt you. But it could be that they're very excited about what you're going to do. You know, really, I am too. It's just that I'm causing you to do it. So the weight of you don't let me jump too high. But if I didn't have that weight, man, I'd be jumping over the moon. Yeah! You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. That was it?
Yes, sir.
All right. You're in the MGT house. Okay. Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
I was raised in a Christian family and was taught for a long time to be humble before the Lord, and I have come to a point where I've realized that that does not serve the ultimate end of God's revelation to me. But I wonder if you could give me some understanding on what exactly is the virtue of humility, or if there is any.
Oh, yes, sir. That can easily be identified with a time that you had really wanted something. When you had to give something up to get it, you know, even if it's nothing but a thank you. You take on the posture of nature. I thank you. You see? And as far as being humble before the Lord, that's not what the Lord wants. Not for you to be humble before Him. He wants you to be yourself. And if yourself is a rascal, He knows He got some work to do with you, or on you. If it's not, He knows He got some gifts for you. You know, if you're wise enough to be humble because it comes from your wisdom, not because you know you're in the presence of someone that's more wiser than you, but you haven't seen nothing that this person has done that you should be humble for. You can be respectful. That's expected at all times. Even to your enemy, you should be respectful. But it's humble. That's something that has to come from the person out of their knowledge. However, God or Allah or myself only expects for you to be yourself. And in this way, everything that I see is the truth. You know, if your arm hurts, your back hurts, and you being yourself, it's the truth, it's hurting. But you stand up all right and everything's back hurting, but you pretend you got a smile and we don't know it. I don't know it either, because my back ain't hurting. See? But whatever it is, if it's true, then it's, oh, that's all Allah wants. Out of the person in that manner.
Thank you.
You got something else?
I got so much I don't even know where to begin.
We'll begin at the end, since we don't have much time. Just ask you home.
Okay, well, I read in the internet posting from the website that you have physically and spiritually been to the center of the sun.
How did that happen?
Well, not so much how, but to what end? I mean, like what were you doing there?
Well, in this solar system, you know, we got 9 planets in the solar system. That corresponds with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the sun being 10, or the sun being 1. It's either 1 or 10. And that's what all of your number system is based on. It's really from 0 to 9. However, the sun is counted by itself, so to say, so it's 10, if we go that way. So that's the most powerful body in the body of the nine planets. That sun controls all of that. So if I really am Allah, and the scientists are commissioned to show me everything that exists, so that I may cause it to serve me at will, I must be familiar with it. So they say, all right, now, we're going to take you around the universe and show you everything that you have commissioned to correct. And we're also taking you to the sun. So we aborted the ship and we went into the sun. It was for my knowledge and edification, just the fact that it can be done. You know, it wasn't a dream, just like you and I talking now. You know, it's something, we're mesmerized with that type of knowledge or experience when we compare it to what we do. Because you ain't doing nothing. So here's the sun 93 million miles away. And on a hot July day, I can't stand it. And it's 93 million miles away. How did he go to the sun, whether it was in July or August? How did he go and go into the center of it? That's impossible. However, I didn't go, I was taken. You see, just like it reads in the Quran, we took Solomon and gave him a little knowledge of everything. Well, the sun most certainly is a significant body. Very significant. So why would they give me knowledge of everything and leave that part out? So they carried me there on a created ship, or in a ship that they created, not made. They created the ship.
What's the difference?
Well, when you make something, it has limitations. It can only do what it's made to do. When you create something, then the ship can do whatever your mind instructs it to do. So if they have in their mind, we want to go inside the sun, and the ship can arm itself in such a way to go in, and we be just like sitting here now, nice and cool, we looking at everything that's taking place. Make sense?
It is beginning to, yes.
Well, this is the type of power that we're coming into to make rain, hail, snow, earthquakes, love. And to do that and be in harmony with what already exists and been existing, you got to know it. So if I'm to be Allah, I must know about the sun intricately. And I got to be able to go in and out of it at will without offending the laws of it. So to show me as a baby that this can be done, come on, boy, let me show you. I said, well, take me. And that's what they did. We went to all 9 planets. We went to other galaxies. I went to the very edge of the universe. They said, well, you already got a planet on the other side of this. We cannot go past this. Nobody can go past this except you. And when you develop and finish correcting this, then you're going to go. And when you go, you're going to have 7 other ships that you make that go with you. And when you go, they're going to be in a row. And when you get to the edge, everybody's going to stand out around you, and they have to stop there. And I go in first and do what I got to do, and then send for them. And the ships are going to be made out of the state of Wisconsin. The black ants going to make it. Telling you too much, huh?
I don't believe so, but just more than I comprehend at the moment.
Well, I intended to do that so you know when you write again that you really didn't meet a lot.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Inshallah. All my life, I've been one of those people that everybody said walk with God, because no matter what's happened, through bad, through good, through the weird, I've always had something else there besides myself.
Yes, ma'am.
Placing myself in positions where I just knew something bad was going to happen. Walking out of it untouched. Everybody else is like, how'd you do that? I don't know. Years ago, it started being a thing of, you just take it for granted. You don't ask any questions. You just go, yeah, okay, I know that I'm going to go do this. And as usual, nothing bad's going to happen. Going on a roller coaster and, your ride is cool, but the people on the car, the one that leaves immediately behind you, they experience enough stuff where they're actually like hurt. Little things like that, and it's like, wow, you always manage to skate straight through. God's willing. And my question was, where in the grand scheme of things does the individual fit that one person would have things go on like that when the group doesn't?
Well, that's like a man riding in a car with 4 or 5 people, and the one that don't get hit is drunk. Don't get hurt. Everybody else is confident and they're tense up. When you have that will and carefreeness about yourself, that you know something is with you, that automatically changes things that surround you. People just close to you get hurt, but you don't. It's the way you're thinking. You put laws into motion, you don't know you're doing it. It's the same thing as, where's the brother? It's the same thing as some of the ships that we have, the created ships. Nobody polished them. You can be here and you summons them, and they come to where you are. The other one, somebody's got to be on it from the port of the garage, or from the port of its origin. Somebody's got to be on it. So the same thing with you. You put things around you, you've been operating in such a way. Like they was telling me, some people summons the ship, they don't know they did it. And when they see it, they become frightened. Automatically cancels us out, the ship go back. Same thing with you.
Oh, I'm not afraid though.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why nothing seemingly happens to you when others do get hurt or something happens to them around you, and you seem to always step out. It's because of the aura that you're operating in and the confidence that you have. I'm quite sure you don't do something that's real crazy. If you do, you're going to get some type of thing happen to you that you know you kind of stepping too far. It's like a little child playing with a mousetrap. And you want to leave it alone. He might hit it a couple of times with his pencil or his toy, and the thing trips. He never get hurt. His little brother see it, he comes stick his finger on it, he gets his finger. You see, but we did the same thing. However now, but the brother, things that is of meaning will mean more to him. He will have the proper respect, not fear, proper respect for things. With you have a sense of protection around you all the time. However, you will always be saying, I don't know. You say, well, how did you do that? I don't know. The one that got his finger hit, he said, well, how did you do that? Well, I did so and so and so, I did so and so and so, and that works. You see? So, are you married? You're not married. If you somewhat protecting yourself, you know, and you Islamic, and you in the Islamic faith, and you really believe in Allah and how He works and whatnot, that may be enough for you now. However, it is never enough for a wide awake, alert female. She must have the strength of a man, because he confirms what she is. And once you get that, then you have no more need of self-protection. You can keep it, but you don't need it. So when something happens, you say, oh yeah, that happened because so-and-so and so-and-so. My man can tell you. But while you don't have a man, and it looks like you really believe in Allah. So if that's the case, yeah, you're being protected. But we'd much rather you have somebody else with you.
Oh, I never walk alone.
No, I don't mean that way.
No, I know what you're saying. Never walk alone.
Oh, what am I saying?
You're saying that on earth that we are half. I'm half, he's half. Put the two together in order to make the one, to make the whole. I understand that concept very well. However, right now at this time, I'm not ready.
However, but you're not alone in that aspect. Okay. Got something else? That's it? Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. Brother?
Assalamu alaikum, Father.
Wa alaikum salam.
I yield to the sister.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
I would like to make a statement, Father.
Yes, ma'am.
I've been in the idea a little over a year, and I was in the Matrix system for 14 years, and nothing can compare this 1 year with all the experiences that I experienced at 14. It's wonderful. I thank you.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I must be doing something right. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Father, there's a verse in the Bible that I've been thinking on quite a while, and I would like for you to give some light on it. It says that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. I would like to know the relationship between words and God.
Well, the words are a form of mathematical communication. In other words, for one being to understand the other, at this particular time they use words, and even if they're to speak to you from the mind, it is still spoken to you in words. It's just that it's more rapid. So in order for God to show Himself to be God in the essence of your being, He is a Word. In the beginning, before the Word took on flesh, it was just a Word. Meaning that flesh, the black man, you walk around, had the Bible and all that kind of stuff, and you had the Word, but it wasn't you. It was something somebody else gave you. When it becomes you, then you don't care. The Word ain't with you. It is you. So whenever you convey it to somebody else, that you're conveying yourself to them. Because the real you, when they say, if a person passes, that means they've laid this body down, because that ain't them. That's just something for the eye to see. What type of an expression is this you showing me? The real God that's in you, what do you want me to see? So when I see it physically, whether you say anything to me or not, your body is speaking to me. And if you're to be personal or really speak to me, then it is in words. And even to describe what I see in the physical, I still got to use words. So that's why that is put there. First it was the Word. Then the Word comes to find out that ain't enough just to have the Word. And deal with matter. So then the Word started to be with matter to see if matter will accept it. Then when they figured out how to make matter accepted, then it became the Word. So now you talking to me, and I'm talking to you with words.
Yes, sir, Father.
You didn't get that?
Yes, sir, Father.
Okay.
Cleared my thinking.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Father.
Yes, sir. Y'all getting anything? Yes, sir. Walaikum salam.
So I have two scenarios that involve me personally.
Yes, sir.
And what I want to Sorry.
Was the other one on? Did you get the brother?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Everybody heard it, right? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. One of the scenarios I was involved in, I thought I was doing right. I just met my father a couple years ago, and I went down to his mother died, well, my grandmother died 3 years ago, and I met a brother that I just met. This was down in Louisiana, and however, my brother moved to Houston, and when we came back from the funeral, the brother was trying to get a ride to go see his mother, and he didn't have a ride, so I thought about it. I thought I was using mathematical thinking. I figured if I came to a city and I was that close to seeing my mother, I would want somebody to help me see her. So I let the brother use the car, and the brother told her to call me. So my mother rented the car for me, and I was wrong. I see now that I was wrong by letting him use the car to go see his mother. So what's taking place is I'm paying $1,000 a month to the rental car for, the price of the car. And one of the things that I've been dealing with, I'm trying to get my life in order. I'm trying to, move. I really want to get a house, and I really want to quit this job. However, I can't do anything because I think it would be wrong for me to just leave that weight on my mother. So, that's why I'm still working. I also want to come and drive the truck for the nation. I have my CDL. However, it seems like every time I make up my mind that I want to come to Kansas, some major always happens. And recently, once it was shared with me that you was coming to St. Louis, all kind of things started happening to me personally. I thank you for sending Brother Paul down here. Me and the brother clicked kind of well, and I had called the brother one day because I'm getting sued for child support. This just happened since February. Children that I've been taking care of, the state's coming on me, and so now they're garnishing my check. I've been having problems with my car. I had a leak in my car and I couldn't find the leak, so I drove my car to the shop, get my car back, and had to get it towed home. So, I was in the auto repair place talking to the Caucasian. I said, hey, look, I drove my car up here. I don't expect to have it towed back. I don't know what they did to my car, but what they want to do? They won't do anything. However, when I was in there, the Caucasian had a stern look on his face like he was challenging me. And I really didn't take that quite well, so part of me thinking, I'm finna hurt him. And the other part, our brother, Secretary Paul shared with me, he said, brother, you important right now. He said, just maintain yourself. He said, you're dealing with emotions. So I was trying to hold on, so I had that thought in the back of my mind that you was coming to St. Louis, and I would hate to be in jail when you got there. So I told the Caucasian, I said, look, let me leave because you'll need the police in a minute. So one of the other things that's on my mind, brother, I was in a scenario last year. I have a 12-year-old son, well, he was 11 at the time, and 5 boys tried to jump him and take his bike. One of the boys put a gun in his face, and they tried to take his bike. However, my son fought back. So I received a call, and I went to my son's cousin's house where he was at. And as I was turning the corner, I saw my son and his cousin chasing this little boy down the street on the bike. I caught the little boy, put him in my car, and I took him back, where my son was, and I asked him, was he the one with the gun? That was the only thing on my mind was I wanted to find a boy who put the gun in my son's face. However, they said that wasn't the little boy, so I found the boy a bike. Some more little boys had taken his bike, so I went and got the boy bike and took the young boy back home to his mother, like people used to do back in the day. However, out of that incident, I was locked up for child abduction and assault. So I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. All I was doing was trying to protect my son. The police, they never prosecuted the young boy or anything. They just concentrated on me. So recently, well, not recently, on January the 1st, ever since this new millennium started, I've been having a string of incidents that's been happening. I can't quite understand it. January 1st, the boy's father came and knocked on my door. And he told me I owed his son an apology. So I asked him for what? He said, for grabbing my son. So I shared with the brother. I said, look, man, I said, I didn't hit your son. I didn't hurt your son. I said, all I did was tip him back home to his mother like a man would do. I said, I could have easily put your son in the trunk instead of the car. So he told me that he was going to make me apologize. And I told him, I said, look, I tell your son, his son was with him. I told him, I said, look, man, you don't have anything to worry about me. I'll never do anything to you as long as you don't do anything to my son. So he said, that's not good enough. So I just walked away, went in the house. I called the police, told the police that he was out here knocking on my door, and they told me, well, just stay in the house. And they say, if you go out there, you're the aggressor. I said, how am I the aggressor? This man's knocking on my door. So what I really asking you to do, could you help me in that situation? Because I heard mother say on the tape, mother, I hope I don't get it wrong, but I heard mother say on the tape that, don't just slip into hell. If you're going to go to hell, go. So I feel the same way about jail. I'm not going to go to jail for one murder for doing something that I think is right. So, I mean, if I feel like if me and this brother gets into it, because I see the brother coming past my house weekly with a carload of people, he hasn't stopped yet. I have a feeling that one day he's going to come, and I don't want to run, so can you tell me exactly what to do?
Yes, sir. First thing you put in your mind, he's not going to stop. Don't even worry about that. As long as you're right, you don't worry about what they're going to do. If you're with me, forget that. He might have in his mind to stop, and he stopped at the wrong house. You never find yours, although he lived right next door to you, could be. You don't have to worry about that. And as far as apologizing to his little boy, whatnot, don't even worry about that. He can't make you do that. You treat that as though it don't exist. What you do, the car is still in the shop?
No, sir. It's sitting in front of my house.
It's in front of your house?
Yes, sir.
Find the brother. What kind of car you got?
Pontiac Fiero, 1984.
Oh, find a brother that knows something about working on cars that you don't, and let him look at it. Forget the white man. Go find a brother, see if he can look at it, tell you what's wrong. Even if he don't fix it, just tell you what's wrong.
Yes,
put you in the know. And then you'll know what to do behind that. And as far as paying the child support, how much more if you don't mind telling me, how much more you owe on the car?
$9,000. You
ever heard of bankruptcy?
Yes, sir. If it was up to me, I would have declared bankruptcy. However, my mother don't want to mess her credit up by declaring bankruptcy, so it was in her name.
So really, they're making her pay for it, she's making you pay for it.
She's not making it. I know she didn't have anything to do with it, so there was nothing, I didn't want to put that on her. She had nothing to do with it.
Did you get the car?
No, sir. That's one of the another problem. We contacted the rental car people as soon as it happened, and they told us that they was going to work something out, and we was dealing with one Caucasian. However, he was fired, so the next person that came along, they just charged $10,000 on the card, and they sent the bill for the remaining $7,000. So I called the people and I asked them, I said, it doesn't make sense to pay for a car that we don't have. If I'm going to pay for the car, you can send the car, because in my opinion, it really wasn't total. So they said they shared with us that they sold the car, but we had to pay the difference. Okay. Paying for the total amount.
All right. Well, if I help you, I just do that, on the scene.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And as far as about your, one of the things I wanted to address is what you said about what your mother said. What you felt was right as far as helping the brother. Now, since the brother totaled the car, he should have some type of responsibility in that also. However, your feelings was right. he was with the wrong mindset. Just because he's black, most of our people is almost worse than white folks. So unless you know he got a certain level of knowledge and responsibility, it would be unwise for you to submit to that rightness that you want to. You see what I'm saying? However, you wasn't wrong. And what I would do, you know where the brother is?
Sir, not technically. He's in the Navy, and I don't have any way to get in contact with him.
Well, I'll just have to have you in there and see. Get you out of that. And as far as, did you keep any receipts of taking care of your children?
Yes, sir. I was told that those were gifts. If I don't send the money directly to them, those were gifts. And I shared with the lady that I've been taking care of them. I have a 16-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old son, and my daughter stayed with me till they were 12 years old. And they recently moved back with their mother when I started working nights and I wasn't able to get them to school. So their mother was only on receiving aid for maybe 8 months. So I was told that I'm paying back child support.
Well, I'll say this. The black man is God. The earth is 196,940,000 square. I don't assign myself to 1 mile. Hint to the wise is sufficient.
Yes, sir.
You make your mind up. If it's right, I'm with you. If you make your mind up it's wrong, I'll show you it's wrong. But if you're really with me, make your mind up what you want to do, and do it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Just don't kill the white man. No, he make me work a little harder then.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. You see, it's going to take God himself to get us out of the clutches of this man. He's an idiot going to make somebody, I know what I would do if somebody did my son that way. And I would advise him to come to tell me to apologize. And that don't work. So his testimony lets us know he had all these other leaders here before. That don't happen with me. The ones that's with me, that don't happen. When it does, the farthest they can get to is the barrier that I got set up. They can't pass it. Everybody else, all kinds of things like that happen. They get trapped up. So I wouldn't say, if you're with me, don't worry about it. Those kind of things I tell you, like Master Abraham Muhammad told, or Allah told the messenger. He said, Elijah, go out there and get as many as you can. And the ones that don't come, hard-headed and stiff-necked, don't worry about them. They're just right for me. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir, Father.
You all get that? Yes, sir. My job is to work with the impossible. Just to prove it ain't impossible. Yes, ma'am, daughter.
Yes, sir, Father. May I share a scenario such as what the brother had presented that happened to you?
Oh.
I
thought you said it happened to you.
I can't. So they know that you're a real God that went through much, much worse. And so what you're sharing in the terms of solution is right and exact from experience also. When we were younger, that we were taunted by the neighbors in our neighborhood for being Muslims. So by my father being a truck driver at the time, or driving trucks at the time for the nation, father would hardly be home maybe once or twice a week. So the next door neighbor's son was bullying my brothers and bullied everybody else on the block. So his father was somewhat known to be somewhat like Debo on Friday. Everybody was scared of him because of his reputation. Well, when my father came home, because his son insulted my mother and brother at the time, father came home, got the boy that did it. The boy disrespected father, so father went inside the man's house, took his belt off, and whipped the boy in the man's house. And so someone must have called his father, because his father come pulling up like a bat out of, left his car open like he was Starsky and Hutch, and just went to go running. And at the time, I was thinking, "Oh my goodness, what's gonna happen to my father?" I had faith in his father. So the time, and everybody came out of their home because knew something was gonna happen to my father. This man apologized for his own son's actions and made the son apologize. But however, when he jumped out the car, he jumped out with purpose and direction as far as like he was going to do my father in. Whatever happened that my father did, it was only a minute, but the man walked off apologizing for his son and had his son to apologize also. So it does work. And thank you, Father. I just wanted to share that with the brother.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. As well, for the brother's knowledge, so he'll know, if that brother's in the Navy, he can call, as long as he knows his name, he can call and find him. There's a locator that'll find anybody that's in the armed forces.
Okay.
And if you have a social security number, that makes it just that much easier.
Well, give him the information. Maybe it'll help.
Yes, sir.
Any other things that you all like to share with you?
Assalamu alaikum, beloved Father.
Walaikum salam.
Wisdom teeth. Why do we have them, and why are they called wisdom teeth?
Well, because they usually come in and you have your use of them when you have a little age on you. Usually, if we're eating properly and grow properly, by the time you really get them, it's about the time that you're starting to get rid of the ones that you normally been using, to regrow them, and the wisdom tooth are there to make sure that the body doesn't miss anything. You know, that's why they're called wisdom teeth. You know, but now everything is done so backwards that when they do come in, they're coming in before time, they're growing against the other ones. It's just a big mess. You know?
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
That was it?
Yes, sir. I just thought it was a punishment because they all got me. Yes, sir.
No, ma'am, it's not a punishment. Everything is designed to make sure that whatever we need, we have it when it's time for us to have it. You know, if we look the way we're supposed to, every 100 years, you grow a new set of teeth. So I'm trying to get to 100 real quick. Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, Father.
Walaikum salam.
Yes, sir. I'd like to take the time to share with you. Thank you for allowing me to return home.
Yes, sir.
And I very much appreciate it. And I love you very much.
Yes, sir. You have an immediate reward if you'll take it. You have a whole people that you can represent me to, with a whole nation backing you up. You have a beautiful family that's already with me. So internally, you don't have no difficulty. Externally, you got something to do to have fun with. All you got to do is think. So, welcome back.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I've been beginning to see I don't know what to call it, little lights, I'll call them, moving in patterns. And normally they are clearest when it's dark in the room, and when I'm not looking at them specifically. I have a sense that I need to make some sense of the pattern in which they move and all, and the sight that I'm given, but I don't know. even what I'm looking at, I wonder if you have any suggestions on how I can come to clear understanding on that.
Yes, sir. Usually when that happens, your diet's not right. And what you're actually seeing, your subconscious mind is showing you the illness in your body. And it has a pattern because it's either it's starting or beginning to affect an organ. And that's danger zone. So since you haven't submitted to something that's wrong, it's showing you something, and you see it with your eyes, but the light really isn't there. You're seeing something on the inside of you where the energy is not flowing the way that it should. So either your diet's got to change, or you got some type of illness that you need to check, and that will take care of itself. Your body will take care of that. That was it?
More or less.
Things do happen.
Is that... Well, no, I think that is it for now. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I want to thank you very much for accepting me and sharing with me to come to heaven. I haven't been sick. I don't have an ache or pain.
Okay.
I feel wonderful. And thank you for blessing me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Father, I've been introduced to this idea in 1996 because it was introduced to me that God was here. And as I investigated it, I see that you are God. So now it's time for me to make a move. And in my preparation of making this move, well, I've been preparing to make the move. How have I ever made the move? So now I know that you're God, and it seems like I'm free. And I'm playing, you know, like a man play. So now I want to know how to just leave and leave my children and everybody.
Well, your children, are you married?
Yes, sir.
And they're not for this?
No, sir.
And you want to know how to... do you live here?
I live in Mississippi.
Mississippi. How old are your children?
21, 13.
Did you say 21?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
And 13 and 14.
Have you talked to them concerning this?
Yes, sir. And one of my children is actually answering the phone correctly and not eating hog and, you know, trying to do right.
All right. Well, there are many ways to be with this. What I did, as I was learning, I was still working. I wasn't working for white people, but they were the ones that were really ultimately benefiting from it. You know, it was another black man. However, everything he got was from the white man in the form of work, and I was doing it. So what I did, I used the experience or the opportunity to use the knowledge that I had gained to see exactly what things really are in what I was doing, who I talked to, and I would watch things to see what is and what isn't, to get a real balance on it. And then when I made my mind up, I said, look, talking to me now. My wife, she's already in Islam, but she don't want to do a damn thing that's right. She want to make sure my children don't do things that's right. She want to make them think that their father is insane. Now, do I want to submit to that where they will be comfortable and saying, well, Dad is a good man. He provides the grits on the table, the food, the money. He's a good man. Or shall I go and start doing what I know should be done? And if I go, what's going to happen when the welfare people come? All these things I asked myself. And I said, wait a minute. If what I've been shown is true, and I know it is, can't be made up. I'm going to have to step out and do it. If they come, fine. If they don't, I'm gone. And I stepped out. And when I did, the scientist said, well, look, don't worry about your family. Don't even worry about that. You're going to have them all with you. You just go. And I did just that. And I still don't have but 2 of them with me out of 10. The other ones, they call and keep checking because of the damage that the mother did to them in their young minds. And I wasn't a bad father. You know, I wasn't home long enough to be bad. However, now they're beginning to see, because what's in them that is of real, that come from me, come from my genetics, is real in them also. They have never experienced it. The only time they have any idea that it's there is when they talk to me. A whole different expression come on them. And because they're caught up, well, I got to go to work in the morning, or I got to do this, or I'll call you back, Dad. And I know as soon as they step out of my presence, all that, what I got to do, and I'm going, they ain't going to do it. But I do know it's there. And every time that this happens, it brings something else up in them. So now it's gotten to the point now they start calling. They might not know why they are, but time is passing, and they are so familiar with what they've been doing, and it's wrong. And to see what's happening, what their father is doing, they want to be a part of it, but now they got to separate themselves from the world and start to become who they're supposed to be. And they're trying to figure out how they're going to do this. All they got to do is do the same thing I do, the same as you. Leave. It don't mean that you should leave and don't know where you're going. You make preparation. And after you make your preparation, you think it through. And don't tell them where you're going. Don't tell nobody. He said, look, I can't stay here. I'm either going to serve one master and hate the other one, or I'm going to kill y'all. I got to go. My God is calling me. And I don't have the right to ignore the call. So whatever happens to me after I go, answering his call, I'm charging him for it. So if I die, it'll be on his hands. If I make it, it'll be because of him. But it damn sure ain't gonna be because of you. I go to hell because of you. Forget that. Go to hell by yourself. You know, and the children won't go with you. Good riddance. Take them. I'm a man. I'm filled up with babies. I just gotta find me a wife.
Yes, sir. And I also want to know, as being a member of the UNOI and not participating fully in the nation, what, as you just shared, you might go to Pluto. What is the reward for the one that, well, I've been in heaven many times, and the people are working, and I'm a member, I'm not working. What rewards have I missed while I'm preparing to come?
Well, the process of peace of mind is the only thing that you're missing. You know, once you come with us full time, then all of that, you step into the literal physical process of obtaining peace of mind. And what gives you peace of mind is the accurate use of the mathematical thinking. When you can justify something, then that brings you peace of mind. Now, even if you are unable to do anything about it, you got a nation to help you. So it can't come against you and hurt you until you grow strong enough where you can do something about it. You know, we have brothers that come in to the nation, they come in full time, the wife called, cuss me out. So, you know, I had to hang the phone up. You know, because they get to know, I don't know where to get it from, it's easy to get, because I ain't hiding. But their husband still don't go back with them. Then after a while, we had 2 or 3, after a while, they finally come in, I'm sorry, I didn't know. But the thing of it is, you be a man. And this allows me to be with you. And like I say, we got, in the book is 24 major. However, in the prophecy it's 10,000 angels to help you usher this in. So once you make your mind up, all the help that you need is waiting on you. You don't have to wait on it. The only thing you got to do is make your mind up. And the reward There is no way to describe peace of mind, because when you have it and you begin to experience or even issue out real love, it's a feeling that the body transmits to the mind that's uncomparable to anything else. There is no English, there's no words in this language. Since we're talking about God is the word, and there's no word that has been developed yet in this language to describe that. However, you can't do that if you're not free. Because every time you go to do something, that bondage always is there to remind you. You can't go so far. You're having a good time, but remember, Monday morning's coming. Gotta go to work. You see what I'm saying? And what we do, we just came back, I think last week, a week before last. The ones that was in heaven, I said, well, I had planned to take them to Cancun, Mexico. When I went down, I said, well, we can't, that's the devil's playground. It'd be like all the angels going to hell. Just have a good time. For real. So I said, well, I got to find another place. So I came back to hell and looked around in hell to see what we could find. And I said, well, let's go to Orlando. That's make-believe land. They make-believe everything is fun. So let's go have fun. You see? So I carried everybody. Well, not everybody. We carried, was the bus load? We had a bus load, put them on the bus. And since they full time, wasn't nobody paying. Bus went on down. They said, Dad, Father, we don't want to go back. I understand. But you got to go back. So we came on back. And now I'm looking at for another trip where we have 2 or 3 buses to go and take them places. What I really want is for you to come in. For the brother that asked me about the lights, he's a very intelligent brother. You don't have no brothers and sisters? You do?
2 brothers, 3 sisters.
2 brothers and 3 sisters. Any of them here with you? Yes, sir. We need to build something of our own. I went to Orlando before they did, just to make sure everything was set up. But I never went to one thing they went to. I don't think I did. I didn't go to not one thing they went. Because everything is phony. I don't deal with things unreal. But for them to have a good time, my daughter jumped in the pool. I have one of my sons there. I have a wife that has a son. He's not mine, but he's mine. He's walked by the pool and just jumped in. Ploosh. Yeah, he ain't but 2 feet tall. We had to get him out of the pool. But they was having a good time. And that's a memory. And even when they go and see this, like I told the ones that were with me, I said, now when you go, the reason why I don't go to these things because I may have a tendency to get angry. Because I go and see that this devil know how to do all this stuff that's right. But he won't do it. So I don't even want to see it. So when you go there, you watch and see. They went there and seen all the things he went to the F-Cop Center. They seen all the things that the devil know how to do. He put it up as an exhibit, but he won't put it into everyday life. So they got enough evidence to know, this man know. Yes, sir, Father, get rid of him. But before they seen him, they said, well, he's a little good. And we don't see no good. If you know the truth and you won't do it and stop others from doing it, where's the good? You see? So, yes, sir. We need, we went in this morning. My daughter and I were speaking about things to come, whatnot, and what the scientists already showed us and told us, and we were putting everything in its proper perspective. And we're watching the people. They bring the food, we got to keep telling them how to do certain things. And I said, well, we got to get our own place. If we're going to travel, we got to get our own places. These people, we made them to do wrong, and they do it. Bring the glass dirty, and they smile. Oh, I'll get you another one. Well, why go do something when you could have did it right in the first place? You see what I'm saying? So as long as we do that and we don't have our own place, we got to constantly be offended. However, at the same time, we are an offense to them. Because they say, in their mind, well, you want all this stuff so perfect. Go get your own place. Okay. Until I get it, damn it, you serve me. Did you make it? Yes, I made it. You see? However, if we want what we should have, we got to do it. In order to look for them to do it, they can help. If they want to, they have a choice. We don't have one. You can either stay ignorant with them and don't even see the dirty glass. Don't even see the water in it that's dirty. Just drink and have a good time. But if you're going to come with me, what develops in you is accurate sight. You don't never look for wrong. It just stands like, boom. You say, man, how could they eat in this place? But when you're not with me, you're just going, oh, this is a nice place. You go somewhere home, you know, y'all come with me, you go back home. You step in the house and look and say, oh, man. You know, there's no need to even tell your parents, because you know what they're going to say, well, I've been doing this all my life. You done got with that Charlemagne, and now you too good for us. No, what happened, you got with me, your eyes open. So, you know, you're almost in a catch-22 if you don't get your own place. Get your own home. So you invite them. When they come in so clean, then they feel embarrassed, they don't want to come no more. But then, next time when they should be coming and they don't come, then I send a little tornado and wipe it away their house. Then they call up, I don't have a place to stay. Oh, Mom, I got a house, got 3 extra rooms in it. Come on. Then they come and stay a couple of months. They catch hell the whole 3 months while they just getting all their stuff together to get another home. And when they leave, I'm glad I'm gone. Then when they get to themselves, they remember everything you did. Then they start saying, man, I wanted to be like that. They start changing. You see? Same way we do you, same way you got to do them. You come to heaven, you got to do this. Well, I don't want to go to the mic. Come to the mic. You know, you made a song of go to the mic. But this is what opens your eyes up. You are building heaven, not nobody else, not nobody else. And don't nobody else have a right to judge what you're doing, because they ain't doing it. You know, you can judge them. We go places now, people, my wives, I think, my wife just walked in the lobby yesterday. And the man said, oh, you're just so beautiful. And then my daughter came in, they just literally stopped here. Come here. And she said, for what? Oh, just come here. They walked in, oh, you're just so beautiful. What that is saying is that, whoa, what's happening here? We're not the author of this beauty. Maybelline had nothing to do with it. Come close so I can inspect you. I want to get what you got. And they look and say, well, this is natural beauty. She don't have no lipstick, no eyeliner. She just black and beautiful. However, the best one that I heard, we have my wives have a friend, or a personal maid, so to say. And we sent her to the post office. And brother walked up, she was coming out of the post office, he walking in. He stopped dead in his tracks. He said, would you take my number and would you call me? And the thing of it is, the sisters that's with me, they're not uppity or they're not afraid. And they're like, well, they roll their eyes and they scared, you know, they run off, because they don't do that. And she says, no. I said, well, are you married? No. Well, you're not going to call me? I have no need to call you. Otherwise, she talked to him. But she said he just stopped dead in his tracks. Bam. Would you call me? Take my number. You call me? You're just so beautiful. I never seen nothing like this. And this is the same thing Elijah said. The first day he opened up the temple on Stony Island Avenue, he said, you all going to become, especially the sisters, going to become so beautiful that even your shadow's going to be beautiful. You remember that? He said, if you don't believe me, just keep breathing. So I can bear witness. And I'm just getting started with them. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I didn't mean to go off, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Father. I was listening to the tape. I have a CDL also, and I drive a truck, and I drive a local truck. And you said that the man gonna tell us he don't need us, because we need so many days off. And I went to the celebration for 2 days. I came here, and today is the work day. And 4 hours in my mouth to ask him, may I? Yes. I came. Yes, and also I want to share that I have a neighbor that's a Christian. She's an old woman. And she said I was in the law of mind. How she asked me, but she wanted to know what Deuteronomy 22 and 5. And Brother Lawrence shared yesterday that it was that it's like a woman should wear what a man wear. It said a woman should have the authority. So I read it again last night, and it said a man should do what a woman does. So I want to know what the rest of that were.
Doing it, Ron, we got a Bible here?
It's Deuteronomy 22 and 5.
That's the good book. And most of us had to understand, we're such a great people that they wrote a book about us. And they wrote it in such a way that make us look like we really are nothing. When you really get down to the real hints and clues in it, you're going to find that we are everything. And the writer was nothing. To write it, he'd have to know it. So why isn't he what he wrote? You see? And why is it that every time he writes about himself, he wrote that he killed somebody? Killed Jesus. Cain killed Abel. Well, no black people didn't, So murder started according to them. So murder started before black people. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. What does it read?
Yes, sir. It reads, the woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
Well, a woman should not wear the garments of a man, meaning that the garments that a man wears shows independence. Just when you putting on your pants, each leg is independent. And to be independent means you got authority. A woman is a made creature. She's not created. She's made from the Creator. So she's never independent. She's two. Two is always dependent. So it should not portray itself to ever be independent. So he shouldn't wear that. If they're to wear pants, it should be so loose as though the pants almost look like a skirt or a dress. Now, and a man, by being a man, is not supposed to wear garments that show that he is number two or he's dependent. He shouldn't do that. You say, well, the Arabs wear the robes around, whatnot. The place where they are may determine that. However, the officers or people that have authority don't do that. In other words, that's like switching the role. And if Allah intended for that to happen, that's the way he would have made it. So what they're saying, do your part. And don't try to be something other than what you really are. That's all it means.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's it?
Sir, I have read this book and I never understood anything in it. However, people do read it, Tim, they understand. So, I know you're God. How brother right here see lights. I didn't see no lights. I pulled out. I was in a truck stop in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I pulled out. I didn't see the car, but the car saw me, so I knew that that was God. So, will I see any lights?
Well, everybody, according to your health, whatnot, certain things happen to you. I was telling him about it more likely his diet. In the spiritual sense, as far as you seeing lights or seeing anything that's phenomenal, all of us are going to see that. However, what we see, we're going to understand it. When you all can really understand, it's a part in the Bible in Revelation 21 where it talks about the city. And the people there that are already in the city that's maintaining it, that are waiting for us, are jealous. To a degree, they're almost envious. And now, you would think, if they're already there, they got to be of some type of importance. Here we are, most of you don't even know where the city is. Never expect to see it. It's a figment of maybe my imagination or the writer that wrote it in the Bible. In other words, what I'm saying is, everybody see the greatness of us. Everybody. Even the angels, the God said, look, hold back the four winds. Hold it back. And before he said that, listen, I don't care what this country does as far as going and making war with some other country. But I'll be damned if we're going to let any country come over here and make war with this country in this land. Why, God? Because my people is here. The black man, the new man is here. And he paid a price to become new. 400 years he whipped him, raped him, robbed him. They didn't kill him. And I got a duty to go bring him out with great substance, so I can't let Japan or nobody else come over here and bomb this country because they're mad with this man. He's my personal man. I'm going to get him. So, and the people in the city, well, the ones that's coming, I can't wait till they get here. I can't wait. These are the beloved of the Most High. Just to be associated with them, I feel more than honored. But you are that, so you don't think that way. So that God himself comes and listen, I don't trust nobody else. I don't trust him. I made the messenger because he wanted to be that. But I don't trust the one that's to help him. I don't trust Malcolm or Lewis. So I'll come myself after the messenger. I will get them myself. Because I know every point that will make them respond positively. I'm the master of acupuncture. You see, when I touch you, you come alive. And then after you come alive, you start magnifying life. So all of the other countries that see, like Gaddafi said, the United States is like a fortress. I couldn't find a way in. Now it looks like I found a way in. He thought he did. However, yes, it's a fortress, not because the white folks made it that way. I did. Why did I do that? Because you here. All of my children that would come from me, my genes is here. They originated here from me. So I'm not going to see them running around scaring because somebody dropped a bomb on this because they mad with this man. Forget that. I'm God enough to take care of him and them. So don't worry about having no war. You be worried about leaving here going to a war. But don't worry about one coming here and making one until I say, okay, now you can come. So the greatness of us, we don't yet understand. That's why we can always argue with each other. That's why you read on the net, they talk about me like a dog. But they never say what I'm doing wrong. Never say nothing I'm doing wrong. You know, the minister is the man. If he is, how come he ain't doing manly things? You know, men don't do what he does. Men don't do that. A man don't do that. Wallace does exactly what we set him to do. He has never did anything other than what we promised him would be done. He never denied his duty, never. So the man is somewhat honorable. He's just a rascal. You know, we know the devil's the devil. We can't change him. So we have to recognize this is the devil. And we deal with him accordingly with intelligence, not with feelings or anger, with intelligence. So when you catch a black man coming up, and he performed his duty, although it was distasteful to the righteous. However, this is the man that is a sifter. I only want the best. He comes along and makes sure I get just that out of what I produce. So I ain't angry with him. But once he's made himself crystal clear, why would another man saying that he is the man go with something like that? You see? So he even sifted him. So he ain't the man. I'm the man.
Yes, sir, Father. I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, as I attend mathematical thinking classes, I know it ain't about what I think. And I know you don't try to prove anything to others, like make it rain. What the sister asked you to make it rain. And you said it wouldn't prove anything. But every time I read the Bible, when I was reading it, it's a lot of deeds and do's. And nothing is explainable, nothing. Let's not go into my own thinking and say, this is what it means. Right. So, would you allow me just to open this book up and scripture, I just read it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. In Kings 2. And one of his servants answered and said, let some take, I pray thee, 5 of the horses that remain, which are left in the city. Behold, they are as all the multitude of Israel that are left in it. Behold, I say, they are even as all the multitude of Israelites that are consumed. And let us sin and see. That don't make any sense. So.
Well, if you never come up on Elijah, it wouldn't make sense. What this is saying is that, you know, this is to be given to Solomon, right? Is that what you read? Or Solomon is to have this? The very first part you start reading.
It said, and one of his... And the king arose and one of his servants answered and said, let some take, I pray thee, 5 of the horses that remain.
Oh, it says let some?
Yes, sir. And let one of his servants answer and said, let some take.
Oh, let some take.
Yes,
these 5 horses or whatnot. All right, well, that's saying, like, well, if he was with Elijah, you know, this whole thing about kings, it's about Elijah, Wallace, Farrakhan, or Lewis, myself, Joab, which is Supreme Captain, Tanetta. In other words, everybody that was in that regime, that's what that's talking about. Now, when it gets to a point where they got to start splitting things up, they got to give the nation up. We're going to allow them to take certain things with them that we don't want. That's all it's saying. But what messes you up in the Bible, it never identifies who is. It never tells you. You know, like, when the Bible first started off, you know, in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. You don't know who's talking. It don't tell you, you know, I, God, I am saying. Or God, I'm Moses, and God commissioned me to give you this. It just starts off, in the beginning. Who said it? So it never identifies anything. And with kings, it's talking about Solomon, quite a bit about Solomon. 1st and 2nd Kings. And David, which is the messenger. Adonijah, which is Farrakhan or Lewis. You know, and Joab. And then it talks about Absalom, which is Wallace. It talks about Nathan the prophet, which is Bezalel, or what's the name? Bas Rasul. It talks about these different people. Jonathan. See, all of these are people that was with the messenger and with me. Because it's being lived out now. Now, once I get it in 1 Kings, it talks about, at the end of 1 Kings, Solomon, or Lewis, gave the nation over to me. He said, well, look, I can't handle it, but if you don't kill me, I'll give it up. Then it starts off in the second one. Solomon is being instructed. Do not let Joab go down to his grave in peace. He shed much blood. You know, he killed some of their captains and whatnot. It's saying, like, during the time of the messenger, that regime that was there caused the brothers quite a bit of misery, and some people got killed. And the lawman is supposed to be the one that's responsible for that. And however, he's still living. And they think they got away. But they're false. And they don't understand the Bible either. But we wrote it. Had it written right there. But they had to wait until I come up to point out who is who. I'm the Solomon. And everything you read about Solomon is always far greater than what you read about Jesus. But they never talk, the Christians never said about Solomon. They always Jesus you to death. But Solomon built the house of the Lord. The Lord was pleased. He said, he shall be my son. And see, so that's what it means. You got to know the characters and the time. Then the Bible comes right in, everything falls right in place. Bam, there it is. Even when you read Daniel, it tells exactly what happened when Wallace came in and took the nation. When you read Daniel, I think it's what, the 5th chapter or whatever, you start with that. It says the nation even gets the time. You know, the nation, he came in and made the nation desolate. And it was that way for a time. I think it was 300 something. It added up to be 3.5 years. Then after that, this one would show up and break the seals of the ones that didn't go with him. So all you got to do is know who it is. And the man that came in and made the nation desolate was Wallace. And Lewis helped him. See, now he's right back with him again. So once you learn the people, it's being lived out. The Bible is so easy to go through. And a lot of people, most of the Bible is somebody telling the same story in a different way. If you read St. James, he's telling one way. Peter's telling another way. Paul's telling another way. Deuteronomy's telling another way. Kings is telling another way. Corinthians is telling, but it's the same story. So all you got to do is know me, Solomon. Know Lewis, Adonijah, or Aaron in the Quran, Aaron. David, Moses, Elijah. You know, Absalom, Wallace. The only person that is not named is Satan. But I know him. You got it?
Yes, sir.
So don't even worry about that. If you want some understanding of the Bible, something that you read, call Brother Secretary James. He don't know it either.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
This question is a little bit off, but it's just something that I was curious about.
All right.
I wanted to know your views on music and society.
Music is a word that is derived from sound of motion. If there's no motion, there's no music. So I don't have a view on it. We made it. I have pleasure in it. It's just that the music that is played today by this world is an irritant. It's not a joyful noise. It is a noise, but it's not joyful. However, music is something that is a must. It causes you to be comforted when there's no comforter around, if you got the right music. It causes you to see me. If you're in a loving mood and the right man comes on and says, I love you. Everything. Lighten up. You don't do that?
Not very often.
You presented a challenge. A smile at the right time is better than the sun. Just like it's written in the Quran, mere remembrance of Allah is better than prayer. So instead of praying 5 times, if you just remember, you're doing something better than prayer. So instead of quitting your job on Friday and go to Jummah prayer, just remember, it's better than prayer. You see? Just a smile from the right person at the right time is something that will be etched on your mind you'll never forget. You'll tell your children about it. However, if life has treated you in such a way that you find it difficult to wrinkle the muscles in your face to express pleasure, I have a job to do. But I'm doing it. Well, what time is it? 4:52. 4:52. Are we supposed to be out here at 5 o'clock? 5 o'clock? Anybody got a quick one? Or? Come again? 7. I had to go shave by then. Nobody else have anything they want to know? You got enough? You want to peruse the table? Or, commune with each other? Maybe we got some fruit and everything in the room, so those that came up on the bus and we don't have enough money to feed you, I can send down the fruit. Did y'all have a good trip here?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, that's one of many. I intend to send the coach bus out there. I got all of them on headquarters. Nobody want to ride it, so I'll send one out there to heaven, so you all be able to ride in pleasure next time we go someplace. And I want to get some. I'm gonna put this out. I want to take you all someplace else. However, at the time, I haven't applied enough time and energy into where. So if you want to, call me up or let it be known where you'd like to go. These are the ones that is full time. Full time with us, whatnot. You want to go someplace, and now I'm not going to take you to the casinos. But if you want one, we build our own. We'll gamble with thoughts. And the winner will be happy. But you all do this and let me know. And this year, it appears as though that independence is really going to be rewarding for you all that has been working all this time. You're going to see a different type of pleasure from the people around the country. And Brother Secretary James, I don't know if he's been alerting you on what people are saying about us. We're becoming, you remember I said that, I think it was in May, I'll be well known. June and July I'll be dealing with my family. August I own everything, and September I'll be running the nation. Looks like it'll be this year. June and July, we have found a sister or some people that know how to heal you or put your body back in tune with itself, where you can, whatever's wrong with you, you can heal yourself. I went down there. I really had an experience. I went down to check it out to see, if this is genuine. And the little young sister, she's all excited and everything, so she did what she's supposed to do with my wives and myself. And according to them, what she had come up with, I'm pretty ill. However, she don't know my composition is different. So I didn't tell her any difference because she wouldn't believe it no how. However, my wife, she was all excited right there. And that's another thing, everything, that she was touching and feeling on them, everything, and doing their hair, and they just amazed by it. You're not this, you're not that, you look this, and it's always, but they never pick up on what's making it. But I'm sitting there looking at this, and they bearing with this also. However, most of the things she did with them worked immediately. So I told her, I said, well, look, it may come a time where we come and get you because we got so many people. You come with where we are, and you start with us. She said, well, for real? I said, yeah. We was on the way. I was on the way to Orlando. So we stopped and just checked it out. So I said, you want to go to Orlando with us? She said, oh, yes. She said, you a man? I said, yeah, man. Then she thought, I got some, I wish you would have told me sooner. She was serious. But the Matrix had it. I got some customers. I don't know. I would like to. Would you let me know when you go again so I can go? I said, you married? She said, no, I'm not married. I said, I don't know if I let you know, but what I'm thinking, if you ain't married, you ain't got no problem coming to where all the people is and start to work on it. You see what I'm saying? Yes, sir. In other words, what we need and as we need it automatically starts to appear. So you can keep your jobs or keep your duties, what you're doing. We bring them here where we are and cause them to see what we're doing. While she's seeing, she's giving to us what God has blessed us with, and it makes us a much better whole and well people. You see? And then when we do go someplace, we can start having our own places, and if you want to go, we get in our bus and go. And another thing, I got a whole lot of other things. Artenia was driving, but all of y'all know Artenia, right? She got dressed up and whatnot, just put her uniform on, got behind the bus, the wheel, whatnot. She drove on up into the lot, and the other bus driver, down in Orlando, got a whole lot of bus people coming in the bus, and she steps off the bus, and they all looking at the bus like, man. When they see her step off, like, what? This little woman driving this big bus. But all of them made real positive comments about her and the bus. Now, we got a 1976 bus. 76, bicentennial. Everybody was saying that the color scheme on the bus and how it is, they're going to have to start going with theirs because the way they do it, everything is becoming bored. It's becoming, they don't have no more life in it. When they seen ours, they said, we're going to start doing the way you all do yours. 76, but they got brand new buses. And you know what one of those buses costs brand new? If you get it with everything on it, the way it's supposed to be brand new, it's over $500,000. That's just the bus. Now you got to get insurance. I meant to go into that also. You all that think a nation just be built or whatnot, just with the buses that we got. I pay cash for it. If I pay $15,000, $20,000 for it, but I pay for it, I got the title. So I don't have no notice. But then you got the insurance. Then you got the upkeep of it. Then the devil raised the fuel way up preposterous. So you got to do all of that. And we got the farm. We got to make sure now they're coming out with seeds that if you get the seeds from them to plant it, you can't use the seeds that you plant. When they grow up, you got to go buy seeds every year. Then we got to make sure that the pesticides, we use the right pesticides. We got to use the right tractors. We got to use the right time. So they call me up and say, Father, we need rain. Father, hold back the rain. It's too much rain, we can't plant. A whole lot of things goes into this. But most people think, well, hey, it's a tractor. It's a piece of farm, land. Oh, it's just a house. It's just a bakery. Oh, no, ain't no just nothing. Everything that you see, somebody's responsible for having it there. And in this case, it's you all. We're responsible for building a nation. That means everything. We got a sewing company, a business. After a while, we'll make our own zippers and make our own buttons. If it is to be zippers and buttons. But that's what we're going to do. And it's going to start coming from the young people. However, everything's got to be done. But the black man sitting back, all the Mohammeds, think that they're only supposed to talk about God. Never expect to see him. And never expect God to do anything in no physical way. Never. If he does, let him go and make white folks do right. Then that will show the power of God. God said in the Quran, I made you fuel for the fire. So why would I make you do right? I made you to kill you. So now I'm going to go back and change that? I don't think so. And your wife, I got a rope around her neck. So the building has got to come from just what he said, from the youth, from the babies of his people. So are you going to do this, black man? Yes, sir. Now those of you that's on the tape, you should say yes, sir, too. Hear this tape. It's already in practice, already in motion. We're standing out everywhere we go. Everywhere we go, we're standing out. We riding down the road on the back of the bus. It got a mural painted on the back of it. Solomon with a rising sun coming up with a city in front of it. And a path leading straight into the sun, into that city. To the wise people and all these nations running, they look at it and say, man, it's happening. But the black man that is to make it happen, he's standing back talking about, well, you know, it is John Muhammad is the one. Mr. Farrakhan is the one. Master Farad Muhammad is Allah. All this talk. And they doing nothing. When they do want to talk, they go to the white man and say, well, can we rent this building? They're not the building their own, but they're talking about God and they're talking about white folks. And you say, well, you here talking about it. I was invited here. I could invite you to our building. We do have one. But I was invited here. I came. Why? Because black people is here. They should hear this. They should know that I'm real. For real. And I do work magic in your mind, because magic comes from the word mystical. It's only mystical to the person that's not working and don't know. To me, it's not magic. It's just the proper use of power. That's all. That's all. So you gonna be with me? Yes, sir. Well, I'm most certainly behind you. I won't let you sleep unless you do right. And when you do right, you sleep so good, I have to come wake you up. Hey, you got to go some work to do. Right? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Father?
Yes, ma'am.
I came to the mic to make a statement, and I want to thank you for Mother.
Yes, ma'am.
And she has shown me truly what a mother is.
Yes, ma'am.
And I love you, Father.
I can love you too.
Yes, sir.
You're not married either, right?
Never come. I just want to make that statement.
Don't say it like that. Don't say it like that.
I want to make the statement from
no, I mean, don't say it like you said. That'll come.
Oh, no, sir.
Like that, you know what I mean? Like, well, wait a minute. No, you said this way. That'll come. And the brother said, that means I can go.
Yes, sir, that'll come. And I want to thank you for having me to not see that I'm so hard.
Yes, ma'am.
And I do thank you with all my heart.
You're more than welcome.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Walaikum salam. Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, Father.
Walaikum salam.
Yes, sir. Being that we perceive things three-dimensionally at this time, and that there are three basic shapes, which are the circle, the square, and the triangle. What is the correlation of these shapes as it relates to the mind or our way of thinking?
Well, nothing is zero, but it's perfect. Nothing is always perfect. Can't find nothing that to judge it. It's got to be perfect. You don't follow me, do you?
Yes, sir.
You only start finding imperfections when you find something. So that's your zero. Meaning that you go back to zero in your thinking, or if you're a child, you're coming up with nothing to be filled. You see what I'm saying? And then when you say, well, what's next to this triangle? Well, this is like you have the dual sides of one. In other words, you see one more than one time. You know, it has its own, you see 1 and 2. That's like your mental. You know, you got the zero. Now, like I said, the child starts taking pictures with his eyes, whatnot. It's growing, and it can start associating things. Now it has more than just one meaning. You know, like now it's like saying the word is with God, or what the child is seeing, which is at this time is you all. You're seeing what you're doing actually does have a real meaning. It don't mean that, well, I got to get up to go do something. That's all it means. No, it means that what you're doing is affecting the thinking of the black man that is God. It's just taking a little time for him to wake up. So now you can equate it with something. Now, when it gets to come to the third, now you have incorporated the spiritual and the mental and the physical. So now you have to see, when you go to judge something or work with something, you got to consider it in its fullness. You got to consider its spiritual, how it thinks, and the physical part of it. That's why I was telling the brother, the brother's really searching out for something. So he said he's seeing lights. I'm saying, well, you're searching, but you're neglecting your body. We can't misuse either one of the three. So that's how it works with our thinking. The Christians say Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. You said it from the standpoint of from figurations. We're saying the same thing. You understand what I'm saying? If you think spiritual, that's the essence of everything, and it's unseen. If you're thinking how it relates to how you can bring it into the scene, those are thoughts. The thought itself can't be seen, however the evidence of it is, just on your face. You see, like the sister said, oh, that'll come. Her whole body language say, that's going to take place, but that's not no priority. So I'm saying, don't put the brother down. But she didn't say it, but she said it. I said, lift your brother up and tell him you want him, but you're going to wait a little while. You see? So that's the second. And then when the brother actually shows up, now she got to really put it in check. Right, you showed up, baby. Been waiting for you. That's all it means. Nothing complicated. So when you can apply that to everything you do, nothing ever becomes unbalanced. That's why I do what I do. If I just went on the 1 and the 2, I would never make it 3. Because everybody, in the beginning, like I said, my wife, my children, Dad, you're just out of your mind. That's crazy. You're just going too far. Suppose I'd listen. You wouldn't be sitting here. And half of you all that are here that are married wouldn't be married. And those that are not married, and when you came, you could justify your separation. Most times in this world, you do what you can't justify. Well, she did this, not caught it with this. Well, what did you do that she didn't check? You see, because really, everything becomes personal. But with this, if it's a breakup, you go through the numbers and whatnot, you can justify, you can see it. If it's a union that's to become closer, then what's making that union closer is the truth that you're operating on. And this is why if both of you are operating on the truth, and the Quran reads, Allah frowns on divorce. Because if both of you are operating in this truth, with this mathematical thinking, how does 1 plus 1 add up to be 2, but when you use it, it adds up to be 1? So that's what, it ain't that he found on that you divorced, he found on, well, how you using the math? 1 plus 1, male plus female, equals 2. You're coming up with a math to show me that you want it to equal 1. You're not married no more. So how they come up with that? You see? So let's thinking of that. Was that it?
No, sir. No, sir. I yield to Mother.
He said he's afraid of you, so go ahead.
Mine may take a minute, so how many more do you have? And I have them, so come on, we need to negotiate. I yield.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. So, the understanding I'm getting from that is that the triangle is not greater as far as it relates to the mind, that it's mental, spiritual, and physical.
Yes, sir.
However, it's dealing visually.
Yes, sir. It's dealing visually. And also, you can picture, in other words, what it has of meaning is that you can see things in its completion. The triangle is a completion of the first idea or the first motion. You can get a chair and put 3 legs on it, and you can't make it wobble. You put 4 legs on it, 1 leg it'll rock. But the triangle is something that is, the same thing where the pyramid is built. It means that it is. completed. So when you think that way, you think in completion, and when you think in completion, you've got to think mathematical, because that's the only thing that's going to give you a definite to come to a completion. You see, that's why, well, Brother Royall, how can you be Allah? I mean, I just don't see that. They don't see the triangle. First place, Royall. I mean, what about the name Royall in the English language? You know, and then speaking, the hadith says this one would come, speaking of strange knowledge, gap between his teeth, and moles on his face. See, well, so they say, but however, when they see me, and the Bible says he looked like he was slain from the foundation of the earth, but he was powerful enough to take the book from the Lord. Not from an angel, he took the book from the Lord, but he looked like something wrong with him. I rest my case. But when you think, and when you don't think in the triangle part, that's what allow you, he done made himself God. They only looking at either one or two parts. They ain't looking at the third. And since this is a physical world, the physical home of Allah, if you want to go to Allah's home that is strictly spiritual, you got to go to the sun. That's all there. If you want to go to one where it's just thought, go to Venus. If you want to come to one where it's physical, you got to come here. So since the physical home of God outside of his own personal body is here, everything is done in its completion with three. Three is complete. Husband, wife, child. You got a family. If you got husband and wife, you ain't got no family. You got a marriage. Right? So that's the way it goes. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. You can teach me now.
Father. I'm gonna get a raise. I may need some help with this language, Father. However, this is what I would like for you, since we both are here, mother and children.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like for you to give or share the understanding as to our relationship. I specifically share with a few individuals that they would not be coming here due to some behavior that, a lack of proper behavior. However, when it was time to go over the names of who would be coming, I included their names. And I find myself doing this quite often, so much so that the children now, when I tell them, you ain't going nowhere, you're not doing this, they'll laugh because they know that I'm going to change my mind. So I'm finding, or I'm in thought, if I'm effective, or if the merciful change is causing them to be ineffective because they know that how my character has been as far as mercy.
Right.
So I'm at the point where I'm asking the Father in front of the children to, I've spoken with a couple of individuals about it, and they were suggesting that perhaps I just stay out of it and leave it to the siblings, older siblings, to deal with the siblings. However, I tried that, but the older siblings be getting on my nerves. So, if I'm there, I'm going to deal with it. If I see wrong and it's not being put in check, I'm going to deal with it. So in actuality, it's like saying take a nap and let them deal with it. However, I have it in me so that it must be done and done representing you. And I know the certain amount of growth time that is needed for the children. So if I'm not seeing that and I say, okay, you ain't going so and so and so and so, then when I go away, I'm beating my own self up about, well, they should go. I'm making excuses for why they should go, and ultimately they go. So then I'm thinking that I'm spoiling them, and so it's not effective. And I'm asking, what's going on?
Well, what usually takes place is that you're seeing them as grown up or partially equal. What a real mother does pays no attention to the cry of the child. When the cry really becomes real, she answers before the father can get there, because she knows it's real. When it's other than real, they just be, jumping up and down. I see y'all sitting on and talking on the phone. You know, the child be all up in your ear, putting your earrings on, you know, pinching you on your legs and whatnot. And you have every child in there. I'm just saying, man, I can, you know, I could do that. I say, hey, look, get away from me. So you have to ignore the part that when you say it, so you're not going so and so and so and so and leave it. You don't let Satan come and talk to you, well, you know, they should go because they've been working pretty good. No. What you have to do is make sure what you say you're going to do. Or else don't say it. Or else tell somebody else to tell them. Or go away and call back. Announcement. You got to figure out how to do that. Because the children, you know, they still have Satan in them. And he will make them very shrewd in how to get you. And you be all like the brother telling me, I went off the way to have a good. I'm just whooping. I don't think I can think of you. So the devil just whipping. Satan just whipping. So that's the only thing you can do. When the person, this is what I'm saying, that's why I spoke to you all the way I did today, the message that I got for you. When you start doing what you're supposed to do because you want to do it, you're free then. You're free to go to your planet. You're free to check them out. Until that happens, you know, and you always got children that say, well, I don't want mommy to go, so they come up with a fabricated something wrong. And then they tie you up looking at it. And then when you find out it was fabricated, then you want to punish them. But then you walk away, well, I guess they can go this time. You can't do that. If you don't intend to do it, don't say it. Then if you really want to do it, say, look, call me up, say, Father, they really need to be spanked. Would you do it? Don't even worry about it. I'll take care of it.
That's another issue. Father, you be like, what? I'm going to tear it up. Next thing I know, you and James are having lunch. I was like, well, he got it, girl. See that? I said, I'm your highest expression of love and mercy. I'll be seeing you. Come on, let's go. I said, Father, you're more merciful. However, this one here has no problem whatsoever administering the law.
Yes, ma'am.
So perhaps, I'm serious now. When I was young, I used to always pray to you to harden my heart because I always thought that was the issue that was always keeping me at zero. The mercy part. I could loan my brothers $5. When I asked them for it back, they said no, but I could borrow it back from them. And I would continue that process to the point where I would just really hate the fact that, you know, I was so kind-hearted. So what I'm saying to you, Father, I know I love you, and I know that I'm going to keep my duty to you. However, it's like I have to be back in a corner to really keep that law up. And I want to see you with some sons you can be proud of, that you can smile on, almost bring a tear to your eye. You've given me more things because of what I mean, I really want to see some sons for you. So I just wanted to be more effective without this roller coaster. You can't go, or you can do this, or you can't do, because I'm sharing the sons now more so about yourself.
Why don't you do this? Why don't you have a certain number of the children that are responsible and not necessarily officials to determine what the rest do. You know, so if they start to get out of hand, let the others put them in check. And then if they're unable to do that, then you step in. And then if you're unwilling to do it, call me. And if I am busy, call Sister National. When she finished that.
Yes, sir, Father. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. If we're holding anyone too long, you know, if you got to go someplace, I won't be offended if you leave. However, if the brother got a couple of questions, I'm going to take these two, and I think I'll let y'all mingle and get together with each other. Wasn't this place something hard to get into? come off the ramp, figure you got a little ways to go down, fish right there. Ain't no other way in. I looked at the bus ride back and forth. So even the place, Satan don't make it easy. Yes, sir. We'll take these with 3, and then we'll call it an afternoon. And get the ones that you ordered didn't get the tapes of yesterday. Unless there's somebody that never asked me nothing, you got a pressing question you may ask me. Yes, sir.
Assalamualaikum, Father.
Walaikum salam.
First time up, I'm kind of nervous.
That's all right.
Yes, sir. I wanted to know if you should be able to assist me in, being confirmed. I get swayed sometimes.
You mean in what you do?
Yes, sir.
Your thinking and everything?
Yes, sir.
That comes from practice. I don't expect people to come with me, and just because they come with me, you realize, well, I know he's Allah, so I got to be on my P's and Q's if it is such a thing all the time. That's unreal. What you do is practice with what you know is right, and you keep doing it. And you get so good that something else will come up and you start doing that. And before you know it, you won't need help from me, per se. Just the people that you're around and you're associating with, the help would be sufficient. You have to have the will to start strengthening what you already know how to do right. And right begets right. And it'll work. You're a young man. You got time. It don't have to happen right away.
Yes, sir. And would you elaborate on the pineal gland? The pineal gland. It was shared that that's the third eye, and after it opens.
Where's Sister Patricia? Oh, you want to talk to him? That's isn't that the gland that actually causes all the other when you eat? That's what starts breaking down everything. You get the nutrients from everything else, for every other organ that goes to you. I don't mean talk to him right now. Yes. Otherwise, after the meeting and whatnot, Sister Patricia knows quite a bit about the body. So if you want to ask something, get into it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I have one more. Is that
yes, sir. Very quick.
About would you elaborate on the creative thinking?
Creative thinking?
Yes, sir.
Well, creative thinking is thinking where you bring in something that has not been brought in, or you can bring in thoughts that will bring absolute answers to what you're looking for. That's creative thinking, although you may not bring something in new. But the creative thinking will make you always see something that is worth living for. It never produces stagnation. You may get a brand new automobile. To the man that made it, hey, it's just an automobile. When you get it, you try it, see what it do. You're thinking, how can you change this? And you see what a black man does. He takes the tires off, put the other tires on it. He changes the rim. That's creative thinking. He's just doing it wrong. But that's creative thinking. In other words, you don't settle for what somebody just gives you and say, okay, I accept that, that's it. No, if it's not your original idea and you were using it, you start thinking, how can it better serve you? That is creative thinking. Okay? All right. Yes, sir.
Assalamualaikum, Father.
Walaikum salam.
Yes, sir. Father, may I ask 2 questions?
Yes, sir.
The first question is, as I was sitting down taking pictures of you, in the background, that red background, it was not a shadow, but like a glow of your outline of your body. What is that?
Yes, sir.
Ask, what is that?
Energy that's coming from me. It's like the northern lights.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you. The other question I have, just prior to coming here to hear you speak today, I received a phone call from my biological mother, and she called me over to share with me that she had tests done on her, and these tests revealed that she had a biopsy done that showed that she had cancer on her breast, and she was asking me if I would come with her to this doctor at this hospital tomorrow. They want to suggest that she undergo possibly a breast removal, because they don't know how far if the cancer is going, and they wouldn't be able to tell unless they removed it to see. if it was under these nodules and whatever. It sounded very radical to me. I had been speaking with my mother about you, Father, and she knows that when I was in the first, I'm the only one that I know in my whole family tree that accepted the truth under Elijah Muhammad and now with you. One thing I did do with her, in particularly, is got them off of eating hog. And now, since you've been here, they're looking at what we're doing in a totally different light. It's still not, I mean, she's a Christian, go to church and all that. She's saying, in my last talk with her, she calls you by name, Allah, you know. So in my talks with her, she said, I would wish in her language that you would come and speak to us. Speak to us at my church. I said, well, this is the knowledge of Father, and Father has said we'll be coming to your church. What I'm getting is she's starting to turn, and it seems like now she's starting to turn. She's getting attacked with this cancer, and I was sharing with her that when you start seeing truth, you start getting tested, and as to what you used to believe and then what you're starting to see now. What can I do in terms of being able to comfort her? Or advice even to give to her, and what the doctor may say to her as far as cutting on her. And
the only thing you can do is tell her the truth and don't force nothing, because they are indoctrinated in this system. You be bumping your head up against a wall, you know, and then the devil always uses what you love to punish you, or Satan rather. You know, if you love something, if you love your wife, you just love her. Someone come up and she'll leave you. And then you just go nuts. He just whip you to death, or your children, you know, your mother. They had an opportunity more so than you to be in this. They refused it. They rejected it. So it's not like it's something to me personally. They rejected the salvation that all people need. And the book says, you know, my people died because they didn't receive the knowledge after the knowledge was sent to them. So here death now is staring her in the face as a result of her ignoring the knowledge that was sent to her. God didn't say, well, look, you got to go find it. He said, I'll raise up Elijah and send him to you. I'll keep him there 40 years, a daily sacrifice to suffer you. All you got to do is come and submit. That's all. You don't have to bring nothing. Just come with yourself. Just submit. And all of that will be warded off. But they rejected it. And their pay for that is death. And what does it say about sin? The wages of sin. So the wrongness of what they did, now they're being paid. Their wages is death. He transgressed the law. After we send a man here to show you what must be done. So the best that you can do, you know, I have an aunt. She's in a nursing home. She was the person that caused me to come on the Eastern Shore. Be with Uncle Bob and them. You know, I knew her before I knew anybody else, other than my mother. She's in a nursing home. She likes to listen to my tapes and whatnot, but she still got to eat what she eats. I said, hey, that ain't going to help. It's taking you away. So it took her right down. They just can't stop eating the fat bag and all that. Hey. So since I know, hey, you're going, you'll be coming back. But since you won't quit, you got to go. It's like the ones come to heaven, we tell them, look, before you come, and I'll make sure Sister Aisha tells them, you make sure that you let them know. If they come, we're going to keep our word. If they don't keep yours, if you don't keep yours, we keep ours. So you come, you're going to make us accept wrong, we're going to give you the boot. So I don't care how you think we is, and we're terrible, and we trick you. We ain't coming with no tricks. When you come, you expected to do what you were instructed to do until you learn how to do it. Now, if we see that you were genuine in learning, and you do something wrong, fine. Because you're going to change that. Because you learned it. But if you're going to do something, you just going to make us accept it, forget that. You will be leaving. If I don't have nobody in the nation, it won't be nobody but me. And I will stand off, get rid of this infection on the planet, step back down, repopulate it, and be happy. So let your mother know you give her the best of your knowledge, but the only thing you don't do is force anything. When you start that, that's when the misery comes on you. Okay?
Yes, sir.
You have one more?
Yes, sir, Father, may I?
Yes.
This must be another part of the test. There's one in the front and one in the back. My daughter, since she left heaven, or it looks like she, well.
I understand.
So she's either under a trial or a test or a curse or something. She's not returning, and people ask about her all the time. And she gets so, physically, she just looked like we never even taught her a thing. And I can't see how that could be so when she to be raised up with us, coming into this idea, and then.
Well, this is what happens. Not to cut you off, but this is what happens with so many of us. When you come to be with me, and you have children, and you bring them with you. And the children watch the difficulties that you go through trying to conform yourself to be with this. Then they never see this the way it should be seen. They see it the way that it was a troubling thing to you. So when they get an opportunity, if they really don't accept it, they get the opportunity to leave. That's the way they view this, as something that made my mother and father miserable. I don't have no parts of it. Not knowing that this is the natural order of things. So then they got to step out into filth, organized misery, until it starts gripping them to a point where they got to call out, "Oh Allah, what did I do?" And if mom and dad had such a hard time, how come they didn't leave? What did I do? Oh, I better call and see what do I have to do to get back. Just wait. As long as she's breathing, she has an opportunity, because I'm going to be here. I got 8 still out there. They call and say, "Father, I love you." I said, "You can't prove that." "But Father, you know I love you." I said, "Well, I know, but you can't prove that. If you did love me the way you say you love me, we'd be together. I got something for each and every one of y'all to do. And some more sons, and some sons on sons. I got a whole heap to be done. So as long as you stand with your mother and calling them, telling them you love me, is that a ploy of Satan to wear me down? I think not. If it is, he's not going to be successful. Because what I see in tomorrow is so attractive, there is nothing that nobody combined together could offer me that would be greater than what I see and what I'm doing presently. All I got to do is just keep doing it. Everybody, just like it's written, every knee gonna bend. That means your daughter too, she living. Every tongue gonna confess. That means you and your daughter and everybody else, if they live it. You see?
Yes, sir.
They're going to say, "I ain't worried. I just do what I do. And I just keep developing. And I'm doing all this just to show a sign. This is nothing, but I'm going to take the nothing and show you what can be done with it. Imagine what's going to happen when you have something. You see? When you don't have to go and do physical labor work. When you can think of things. Like they say, hold back the 4 winds and the wind don't blow. You can't go out there and do something to make wind. You can't do something with your hands to make wind. You can't do that. I'm going by the airport yesterday and I see they got the little, I don't know what you call it. It's like a funnel type thing. It shows you which way the wind is blowing. The wind blows through and it shows you which way the wind. I said, look at this stuff. To make this thing work, he got to use a certain portion of nature. He got to use those laws. If you don't use it, even using it, he still crashes. So when it gets to our time, like I said, some of the scientists tell me, sometimes some people, some of the ship, they don't know there's something. When they see it, they get scared. Suppose you do it knowingly. Time you think, well, I need a ship, bam, it's right there. You ain't got to sit and wait like, on the bus corner waiting for the bus to come. You saw me, bam, it's right there. You don't go where it's going, it takes you. That don't mean you built nothing. It's not a built ship, it's a created. So you don't build, you can't create something by building it. If you build it, you made it. I'm going to say it again. If you built it, you made it. If you created it, you never put your hands on it. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Father. You brought peace to my mind. I was really weighing heavy on it. So
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it and I love you.
Yes, sir. I love you too. Brother Gary, where'd he go? Oh, did you have a question? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Father. Salam alaikum.
Welcome, Islam.
Saturn. The light forms on Saturn. What do Saturn represent?
Saturn?
Yes, sir.
Well, it's a planet that represents the character of a female. But however, this particular female has something new. At least 3 characteristics of the new God that's new. So that's what the 3 rings around Saturn means.
The light forms on Saturn?
Oh, absolutely. Not on it, it's in it.
Oh, in it.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Why, you been there?
Yes, sir. I don't recall. I don't recall. What's the activity that they do on Saturn? What's the
They don't do nothing on it. You know, they like whatever it takes that the planet provides for them to exist or to live. It nourishes them in their thoughts and in the keeping and maintaining of the planet and the moons of the planet. And then they have rights to go all over the universe except come here. So they have quite a few things to keep them busy and occupied.
Yes, sir.
You know, they're not like growing corn and wheat. You know, they don't use that on that planet. However, you know, since they're on the inside of the planet, it must be maintained the way they want it to be. That's what they do.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Father.
Yes, sir.
What
Would you think about going there?
No, sir. What I'm rotating on is when you dispatch from the sun, you have certain characters from different planets according to the way we understand things in the universe.
Yes, sir.
Do you take on different attributes of certain planets or something of that nature? I'm just rotating on that.
Oh, okay.
So I was just get some facts on Saturn, because Saturn has been something that's been like in my mind.
Yes, sir. Okay. Well, that's it. So I hope you all got something. You go over in class or whatnot. And I actually see you all look good. I don't know about the brothers, but you all look pretty good. And you all go back to your prospective duties and your places and whatnot. We want to get some more homes where those of you that are married can start thinning out. In other words, to, you know, be 3 or 4 people in a home or a couple of families. I want to get it where it'll just be one family. And you'll be more freer to think the way it has started off. It's like a family, you know, you're having children and you learn from each other. When that has served its purpose, then you can start to be more independent. And believe me, everything that we need for us to actually do that is on the way. I just hope that you all see it serious enough to be ready for it. Because if you're not, Mother's going to say, no, we ain't giving you home. And I wouldn't want to see that take place. I want to say, well, Mother said, well, I think so-and-so should have a home. I would say, okay. And then we got a lot of other places, not just in Kansas. We got a lot of other places that people are starting to look at us. And they want to know, well, what you doing here? Nothing, because you ain't doing nothing. What do you want to happen here? Well, we want so-and-so and so. Well, you got to do so-and-so and so-and-so. Oh, we'll do it. Okay. Well, we'll get busy. You do yours first. Remember, you make the first step, then I make the next 7. But if you don't make the first one, I'm just looking at you. You looking at me? Okay?
Yes, sir.
It's been a pleasure. I hope that I haven't cheated you out of anything, and that stick with me.
Yes, sir.
More than me will be happy. All right? The secretary, you coming up? Here comes Mrs. Allah. Isn't she beautiful?
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Royall.